Well, well, well. And here I was today minding my doggone business and on X and trying to check out all the free agency stuff that's going on. And it is absolutely crazy out there right now with free agency. And lo and behold, I see something come down the pike and I'm like, Dak Prescott breakup? And I'm like, this has got to be fake. I mean, there's so much fake stuff on social media. And nevertheless, I'll be doggone. It looks like allegedly Dak Prescott has a breakup with his, I would say, longtime fiance. They've been together 3 years, and everybody thought they were destined to get married, but nevertheless, now they are breaking up. And so I say with free agency looming, a big free agency, so much for a quiet offseason for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. Man, what is going on, Cowboys fans? Of all the things that we would least expect, now we got this business with Dak Prescott. It's his business, but we're going to talk about it a little bit tonight and just talking about how it could affect the team. Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, and yes, we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member or subscriber yet, please do. We have a lot of things coming up this season. So hit that notification bell, like, share, subscribe. And if you haven't become a channel member, what are you waiting on, man? We got a lot of things coming up this season. I'm just all discombobulated. But again, man, this thing with Dak Prescott is crazy. This is what's going to be the show tonight. Dak Prescott has broken, him and his girl have broken up. Some say he broke up with her. Some say she broke up with him. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about something I talked about today. It's the Oso Diggy Zua trade rumors. And I think those have kind of been debunked. We'll see what happens. Then we're going to talk about this thing that I'm noticing is going on in this league. Man, there may be an edge shortage by time the Dallas Cowboys come up in free agency to get on Monday. I'm going to tell you how that's going to affect us. Then, man, I want y'all to hear this story. About Caleb Downs. Man, this story from Mike Mayock on Caleb Downs is crazy. I wish it would be true what he's saying, because that means that the Cowboys could possibly get Caleb Downs. And then I want to deep dive tonight. It's an article, I believe it's from Blogging the Boys. And they have 8 mistakes the Cowboys don't need to make in this free agency. And I thought it would be very interesting for us to go over that tonight. So this is what we're going to be talking about. Dak Prescott breakup, the Osa trade, the edge shortage, Caleb Downs sliding, and then free agency caution. So it's going to be a great show tonight. So let's do it. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get that Quentin Williams. Hey, let's go. It's going to be a great show tonight. Cowboys After Dark. Man, let's get this thing going. I'm ready to get this show started. Got a lot to talk about. I'm going to try to hang in here for about 2 hours. But y'all know I'm a preacher, so 2 hours can turn into 4 hours. We're going to try to not make it turn into 4 hours tonight. But we're going to talk Cowboys. Let's get this roll call going real quick so we can get right into our story for tonight. Kippy said I'm up. What up, my man Kippy? What's going on? RT Holman, my brother, what's going on? My brother out there in the Florida, my brother from another mother. We still waiting on you to come back to Texas and lead songs at church. We still waiting. All right. Freddie Morales, El Chuco in the crib. What's going on? Azteca, what's going on? What's going on, D-Well? Davion Wallace, what's going on? Jeremy Betts, what's going on? T. Martin, he said Q-Side on deck, what's going on? April Showers, what's going on? April Showers bring May flowers. That's what they say. Angie the Rebel Chicks, what you doing up this time of night? What's going on, my sister? Queen, what's going on, my sister? She said, I really hate it for them both. Wish them the best of luck. Just keep God first in your life and take care of your girls. Amen. Well said. Eddie Washington, what's going on? What's going on? He said, my God, she was all about the money. Head of your business. Horace, what's going on? Good to see you tonight. Jessica, what's going on? She said, so what, leave my quarterback alone. Every other season there's something to get. It's something to get a life. It's always something, but it is what it is. Jessica, it don't matter if you and I talk about it or not. It's going to be talked about it, but we're going to talk about it a little bit tonight. Larry Stroud, what is going on? Good to see you tonight. Clifford, what's going on? Good to see you. Brandy, Dak says sign is pre. No. Brandy, what's going on, my sister? What's going on? What's going on in the 54 gym? What's going on? What is going on? Good to see you tonight. Larry Golden, what's going on? Douglas Jackson, what's going on? Yeah, Brandy, I know you have no idea. You have no idea. We know you joking. It's all good. Paul with it, you with it? What's going on? Good to see you. Rolando Rodriguez from South Texas, cheers. Back Breakup, what's going on? Good to see you. What's going on, Chuck Rowe? All right. Let's go. 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 Let's get it. Let's go. Let's get it. Right. Mac Main in the building. What's going on? Good to see you. Appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight on Cowboys After Dark. Newhouse fam, what's going on with you? Good to see you. JP said, get your head right, Dak. All right, so let's kind of talk about this a little bit tonight. And I'm just going to kind of tell you where I am on this. This kind of stuff really bothers me. It really bothers me from a Christian perspective. It just bothers me in the grand scheme of things because I hate stuff like this because we have to understand. And I know people say it's his personal business, but let me put you up on game 101. You're just going to have to understand what it is. And you don't have to like what I'm about to tell you. And don't take this in the wrong way. Just understand what I'm telling you. When you do what Dak Prescott does, when you are the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, every little thing you do is magnified. He's a public figure. It is what it is. People are going to talk about it no matter what anyone says, no matter who it offends. People are going to talk about it. And I really feel so bad for Dak Prescott from this perspective because Dak Prescott has been through a lot. People don't understand, man. Dak Prescott, I mean, people look at a person and say, yeah, he's a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. Man, let me tell you something. Money is what it is. It's money. It's money. But money doesn't solve all your problems. Money doesn't solve all your problems. And sometimes, unfortunately, money becomes a problem because it's more money, more problems. And so I feel so bad for Dak Prescott when you think about all of these things that he's went through in his life. I mean, his mother, his brother. I mean, some of the injuries that he's went through. It's just so much as it pertains to Dak Prescott. And then he has to be the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And a lot of people think that Dak Prescott is an Iron Man. But I want us to understand something. I do believe Dak Prescott is Man, I'm going to tell you, he can handle. If there is somebody that can handle adversity, I believe it is Dakota Prescott. Dak Prescott can handle adversity. But at the same time, we still have to understand Dak Prescott is a man. He's a man, and you can tell that Dak Prescott wanted to have a family. He wanted to, he was getting married, and he's got two beautiful daughters. And so what begins to happen in this is that Dak's got a lot of things that he's juggling. He's got a lot of things that he's juggling. And so I feel so bad for Dak Prescott because I wish his business couldn't get put in the street like this. But I'm gonna tell you something. See, I'm gonna give you the real part of this though. You lie down with dogs, you come up with fleas. Now, I'm not telling you that his girlfriend was a dog or any of those things, but I'm just telling you, man, you got to understand. As a man, I'm talking about as a man, I tell my sons this type of stuff. Don't you go out there and start building a family before you solidify that family. And you mess around and start having kids out there before you get married and things of that nature. Man, you got to understand that you pay the cost for that stuff. And you're Dakota Prescott. Does anybody in the chat believe she didn't know he was Dakota Prescott before she got with him? Does anybody believe that? When you are Dak Prescott, you have to make sure that you are always protecting yourself because people are always coming after you. And let me tell you something. When you get money and you start looking for the right one, you're going to have to understand something. And I've taught myself, you just got to take this for what it is. If you get money before you get the one, well, you're going to have to understand that the one that you're calling the one may be with you for the money. Bottom line, you just got to accept those things. It's a part of life, but you got to protect yourself because people, a lot of times, they're not trying to, they'll tell you they love you. But see, sometimes people don't love you. They love what you can do for them. They love the lifestyle. They love every single thing. You are to them a benefit. I feel so sorry for Dak Prescott. I feel so sorry for his daughters because now he's going to have to figure out ways to see his daughters. And so it's just sad. It's sad. And I can't stand the fact that while I believe that Dak Prescott is a very private person, I don't think Dak Prescott is going to be out here in these streets, as we used to call them. I don't think Dak Prescott's going to be out here in these streets talking about his business. But as it applies to the other half, I don't know what she's going to do. But I can tell you this. We're going to find out what kind of person she really is. Because I'm going to tell you now, the tabloids are going to be out here in groves, and they're going to be trying to get everything they can get out of Sarah Jane Ramos. I'm praying. I'm praying for Dak Prescott. I'm praying for his daughters. I'm praying for Sarah Jane Ramos. I'm praying that this is a peaceful breakup. And these are hard, man. These are hard. I'm not even going to speculate. I'm pretty sure y'all read a lot of the story. And so, it seems like they've been having problems, it says, for months. But nevertheless, I believe Dak Prescott still wanted to make it work. And it just, for whatever reason, at this point in time, it's not going to work. So for me, I'm praying for Dak Prescott, praying for his daughters, praying for his family, and I hope everything work out however it's supposed to work out. So now let's flip to the football side of this, because this is where I want to be with Dak Prescott. If there is anybody that can handle this adversity, it's Dak Prescott. I believe Dak Prescott's going to need some time, but if anybody can handle this, I believe it is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a person, I think he keeps himself together extremely well mentally. So the question becomes is how focused will he be when the season starts? Now, the good thing is this is happening now. And if they've already been having problems, Dak is probably already acclimating his mind and has already started acclimating his mind to this. So I'm pretty cool with, I think Dak Prescott is going to be okay. Now, let's not kid ourselves. This is going to hurt Dak Prescott. It's going to hurt him. But I'm not sure that it's going to hurt Dak Prescott on the field, because I believe that Dak Prescott is that type of human being with the mental makeup to be able to persevere through this. I believe he can persevere through this. And so I believe Dak Prescott, I think one of the things he's probably going to try to hone in on, he's going to hone in on the football field. I believe he's going to hone in on the football field. I believe we are going to see, and we might see two different things. I'm not going to say exactly what we're going to see, but I'm going to tell you what I believe we're going to see. I believe you're going to see a Dak Prescott that is going to use football as his therapy. I believe football and his faith will be his therapy. So I'm expecting to see a very laser-focused Dak Prescott. A very laser-focused Dak Prescott. Because I just speaking from experience, man, sometimes when you're going through certain things, you got to have an outlet. And thankfully, I believe that football is that outlet for Dak Prescott. So in the grand scheme of things, Dak Prescott, multimillionaire, he's going to be able to take care of his daughters. And as long as this thing with his ex-girlfriend, allegedly, if she can just work with Dak Prescott, I believe everything is going to be all right for those for his daughters, and everything else after that will work itself out. I believe Dak Prescott is going to go on and win the Super Bowl. If it doesn't be this year, it's going to be next season. But Dak Prescott is going to win the Super Bowl, and Dak Prescott, I believe, is going to continue to overcome. So prayers for Dak Prescott, prayers for him. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he's already been kind of getting his mind right for this. And at the same time, man, Dak Prescott has been the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys now for what, 10 years? Been the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys for 10 years. Dak Prescott knows what time it is. He knows what time it is. And so I think he'll handle himself appropriately. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the Cowboys do in free agency coming up here on Monday. And unfortunately, Dak Prescott is going to be getting, and maybe I'm hoping he gets an opportunity to stay pretty low key, because I'm sure there are going to be a lot of people questioning Dak Prescott about this. This will be all over the radio. It'll be all over the TV come Monday. So we just got to, guys, let's keep Dak Prescott in our prayers. Keep Dak Prescott in our prayers and keep his daughters in our prayers. And at the end of the day, that's all we can do. It's all we can do. So let's talk about this issue with Osa Odighi Zua. Angie, you sound like you sound like my wife, Angie. My wife been questioning this from the very beginning. My wife said the same thing, Angie. He can do better. My wife been saying this even before this happened. He can do better. So I want to move over here to something that I talked about today. And I really think 105.3 The Fan needs to come back and redact this. I believe 105.3 The Fan needs to come back and redact this, because I was asking today as it pertains to Osa Odighi Zua. I was just wondering, how would people feel if you were Osa Odighi Zua And in the Max Crosby trade, they were trying to trade you in the Max Crosby trade. Now, I know this is a football business, but I'm telling you right now, feelings cross over into the football business. Now, it's being said that 105.3 The Fan put this out there on their X account, but then they wiped it off of their X account. So they either made a mistake or they leaked something that was not supposed to be leaked. But nevertheless, y'all already know the internet is undefeated. You put something out there on X, it's over. You can retract it, redact it, and do whatever you want to do. People are going to screenshot it and they're going to talk about it. And so what I'm wondering is, was this a leak or was this a mistake? Now, the reason why I'm asking all of this is because I'm just wondering, how would you feel? I mean, I know it's the football business, but how would you feel about this? Because you've been told that inside of the plan that you're basically expendable, right? Now, if you look at what's going on with the Philadelphia Eagles, man, I don't know if y'all been paying attention to what's going on with the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh my gosh. Man, the Philadelphia Eagles are doing the fool on Jalen Carter, man. They are doing the fool on Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was included in the Max Crosby. I think Jalen Carter was also mentioned in the Max Crosby trade. If I'm not mistaken, he was mentioned. And the Raiders turned it down. So the problem becomes when you start offering up a player in a trade, well, I don't know. You start feeling some type of way because I can tell you right now, Jalen Carter is beside himself. Because y'all remember yesterday when I said Howie Roseman may be sending a message to Jalen Carter and something is going on with Jalen Carter and Howie Roseman. Y'all remember when I told you that? Well, look at what happened now. And they're talking about this over here on Eagles Nation. Rather than Jalen Carter getting the extension, Jordan Davis got the extension. And now, it's being reported by Ricky. Ricky is saying, guess what? Ricky is saying that all of a sudden, Jalen Carter, the Eagles, and the Jacksonville Jaguars are in talk for a trade? Man, when teams start mentioning your name in trades, that means that you are probably going to keep coming up in trades. I bet you Jalen Carter was absolutely shocked when his name came up in this trade business. I mean, I bet he's like, why is my name coming up in this trade business? I bet you Jalen Carter's like, why is my name coming up? I mean, I've been an absolute monster with this team over the past few years. And guess what? You can be a monster all you want to. This is one of the reasons why I'm just telling y'all, I say players, get your money, because when you outplay those contracts, they never come back and say, let us give you more money. But when you underperform, they'll cut you in a heartbeat and don't want to pay you money. You can perform all you want to, your contract will come up and they won't give you money. Man, I am shocked. Jalen Carter is about to be out of Philadelphia. Man, let me tell y'all something. Man, I ain't gonna, hey, man, Man, I gotta be careful. But I mean, I just gotta tell y'all between me and y'all, man, I just gotta tell y'all something. I just gotta tell y'all something between me and y'all. Y'all don't be mad at me. I'm just telling you, man. If the Cowboys could get Jalen Carter, oh boy, could y'all imagine Jalen Carter, Quinnen Williams, and Kenny Clark? Oh my gosh. Man, you want to... Man, I'm telling you, you could line me up at the edge position if you had them three. Man, you could line me up at the edge position. With those three, man, somebody eating. Somebody eating. Joshua, he said, this is a sad storyline. She secured the bag. It's especially heartbreaking that it happened to our own people. Yeah, man. But Joshua, I'm going to tell you something. Joshua, I'm going to tell you something. And I'm just saying it straight out. I tell my sons this, and I would tell anybody. I preach this. I tell my sons this. This can happen to you also when you get married. You can get a divorce. But man, don't be out there having those kids without being married. Because that not only hurts you, that hurts those children. And not only does it hurt those children, then you wind up finding the person that you really want to be with. Then you get married, and now you got to get money from your household, put it into another household, and just bringing those children back and forth. And you better hope that the relationship is right, because if not, it's just a total constant pain in the side all the time. It's tough, man. It's tough. But I believe Dak Prescott is going to be able to get. I think Dak's going to be able to get through it. I think Dak's going to be able to get through it. I think he's going to be laser focused. But I'm bringing this up because I'm wondering if this thing with Osa, was this a leak? Was it a lie? What was it? Because we may very well hear Osa Odighizuwa's name come the entire week next week. He might be out of, man, Osa could be out of here. Osa could be out of here. I wonder if maybe he doesn't fit, maybe they don't think he fits the system. Maybe they don't think he fits the system. Bass said, man, do we want the entire Eagles roster? Jalen Carter, Blankenship, Nakobe Dean. Hey, Bass, let me tell you something. Those are some Super Bowl players, man. Those are some Super Bowl players, man. Kippy, he said, give Philly our number 20 for Carter. Man, I'm just saying. Whew. Man, Sub-Zero said, we can't get Carter until he's taking it to the woodshed first. I think, wait a minute, let me see. Angie just said something. Angie said, she said, I'll pass. She said, I'll pass and let Dak Prescott spit on it first. Hey, man, hey, Angie, I'm going to tell you something. Man, man. Boy, you had Jalen Carter. And Quinnen Williams. Oh my gosh. What could you do? Man, you could do some damage with those two, man. You could do. Angie said it's elite. Angie, they erased it off of their X, and they haven't brought, I don't know if they brought it up again, but they erased it off of their X. But I'm saying, man, Osa might be a part of some discussions over here over the next couple of days. Angie said, bye, Osa. Real estate man, he said Dak is about to play like Kobe during the trial. Boy, you crazy, real estate. Real estate man saying Dak is about to play like Kobe during the trial, man. I'm telling you, football is going to be his therapy, I believe, man. David Evans said, gee, what would you offer for Carter? Well, at this point in time, they've already ticked off Jalen Carter. So if it was me, David Everett, I would see if I could give him a I would see if I could give him a 4th-round draft pick. I really would. Or if I couldn't give him a 4th-round draft pick, I think Kippy said give him that 20th. I would maybe give him that 20th if they would give me maybe if they would give me their number 2, depending upon where they are. But man, that is crazy that they're putting Jalen Carter out there. I just never thought they would do that. And so that's why I'm asking about Oso Diggy because I'm just wondering that if Oso Diggy is going to be trade bait out there over the next couple of days. And so I want to bounce to this next subject, man, just moving right along. Man, let me tell y'all something. If y'all are not paying attention on X, it is crazy out there as it applies to edge rushers. It's crazy out there. Man, people are snagging these edge rushers left and right. And 2 of the ones that the Cowboys, people were talking about the Cowboys were going to get, they're already off the board. They are literally already off the board. Now, the Cowboys were not talking about getting Khalil Mack anyway. Yeah, we wasn't talking about getting Khalil Mack anyway. But which one of these teams? It's the Chargers. The Chargers are trying to work out a deal to bring back Odafe Owe. So I believe he's going to be back with them. Who else on the Eagles have already said they're going to be bringing back Jalen Phillips. They're trying to work out a deal to extend Jalen Phillips. So let me tell y'all right now. Trey Hendrickson, I believe the Cowboys were originally going to be able to get him for around $25 million per year. I got a strange feeling now that Jalen Phillips and this other player, Odafe is off the board. I got a strange feeling that Hendrickson just went up to 30 million plus. I do. I think it's 30 million plus. There is no doubt in my mind. I think it's 30 million plus. Trey Hendrickson has just become he's going to be the most sought after pass rusher on Monday. You watch what I tell you. Hendrickson is about to hit the lottery. Danny, what's going on? He's about to hit the lottery. Trey Hendrickson is going to hit the lottery. There is no doubt about it. But people are going crazy out there on these edges. And people, man, and more people are just talking about edges and edges and edges. I mean, boy, I'm telling you, it's crazy out here, man. It's crazy. So the Cowboys, I can tell you right now, I told y'all last week, if you're going to play in free agency, you have got to make a decision that you're going to overpay. There's a player that you are going to overpay for. You just got to accept this for what it is. There's just no getting around it. If you don't want to play in free agency, then go ahead and go back to the Dollar Tree. Go ahead and go back to the Dollar Tree. Because free agency on Monday, man, it's Rodeo Drive. It's Rodeo Drive. I mean, this is Gucci store. This is Louis Vuitton. This is Chanel. This is if you don't want to shop, if you want to play in free agency, you need to be ready to shop at the Gucci store come Monday. You need to be ready to shop at the Gucci store. Bottom line, you better be ready to shop at the Gucci store. So Trey Hendrickson is going to be Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Chanel. He going to be all that come. He going to be all of that. He going to be Balenciaga. He going to be all that. Because I'm telling you right now, when that rooster crows on Monday, the Cowboys better get that deal done with Trey Hendrickson before noon. I don't care if they got to send a pigeon. I don't care if they got to use a can with a string on it. They better get that. If they want Hendrickson, the Cowboys, they better get it done Monday morning, 5 a.m. Eastern time, whatever's ahead of a Central time. They better get it. Because I'm telling you right now, Trey Hendrickson is going to be heavily sought after. He is going to be heavily sought after this coming week because most people view him as the best one out there. They view him as the best one out there, and I'd have to agree. Keepy said, "Gee, we not giving Trey $30 million." Oh no, you're not gonna be able to give it to Jalen Phillips. The Eagles are already trying to work a deal out with Jalen Phillips. The Eagles are already saying they're bringing Jalen Phillips back. So you're not even going to be able to fight the Eagles for Jalen Phillips. The Eagles plan on having Jalen Phillips signed, guaranteed before noon. They're going to have that deal in place. Angie said, "I'm the black sheep. I'm out on Trey." Yeah, I would have to say you. Yeah, I'd have to say you the black sheep. But Angie, hold on before you say you're the black sheep. There's a chance, though. There is a chance, and I believe there is a good chance. There is a good chance, Angie, the Cowboys get Trey Hendrickson. But Angie, I also think there's a very good chance the Cowboys don't get Trey Hendrickson. And if I'm the Dallas Cowboys, I'm telling you who I'm going for on this list. If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, the player that I'm going for on this list, they have him as tier 3. I don't consider him to be tier 3. It's Boye Mafe. That is who I'm going for at tier 3. This is the guy I'm putting that I got my eyes on. Is Boye Mafe. Boye Mafe, he is the player that I am looking at. I am definitely looking at him. So I'm hoping the Cowboys go and target him, but I'm also hoping Angie, in the process, as far as these edge rushers go, let me tell y'all something. I'm hoping the Cowboys go out here and get Boye. I'm hoping that's who the Cowboys go and get. But do not be surprised if the Cowboys also took a swing at Joey Bosa. Do not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they took a swing at Kyson. I wouldn't be surprised. But if I'm the Cowboys, there are 2 players I'm targeting. I'm going to try to get Trey Hendrickson because I just think Trey Hendrickson is better than everybody out there. But if you can't get Trey Hendrickson, I'm going for Boye Mafe. And then on the backside of that, I'm also going for Devin Lloyd. If I'm the Cowboys, I would try to get Devin Lloyd and I would try to get Nakobe Dean. I would try to get both of these players. I really would. I would try to get Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean. Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean. I would actually like the Cowboys to try to maximize if they could. Try to maximize their dollars. Because I believe that there are some players they could get that can maximize those dollars. They could double dip. I believe the Cowboys could actually double dip. Like I said, if I were the Cowboys, I would try to get Nakobe Dean and Devin Lloyd. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not trusting that Donovan Ezeraku is going to be ready. I'm not trusting Donovan Ezeraku is going to be ready when the season starts. I'm not trusting that. Jerry Jones has already said he's not going to say that anymore because he said he was so dependent upon Demarion Overshown coming back and being ready. He said he's not going to do that no more. Well, if you're not going to do that anymore, then you go out there and get Devin Lloyd and you get Nakobe Dean. Don't get one. You got to approach this season. The Cowboys have got to approach this season like, one, Donovan Ezeraku is not going to be ready at the beginning of the season. They got to approach this season like he's not going to be ready. Number 2, approach this season like Demarion Overshown not going to make it. I said it. I said it. You got to approach this season like DeMarion Overshown is not going to be healthy. Why? Because he hasn't been healthy an entire season yet. I'm not putting no eggs in that basket. Even Stephen Jones came out firing on DeMarion Overshown. They want to see health from him this year. They want to see health. Well, if I'm the Cowboys, you think I'm going to put myself in a situation to where I'm betting on DeMarion Overshown's health? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm going in this season like everything. I'm going into this season like everything is everything. It is. Danny said it's been he said, I've been busy in LA. I'm getting my country back. I ran after 47 years. He said, I'm happy my people are going to be free. Yes, sir. I feel you. Angie said if they do, that's dope. I don't see it. He's old, cost a lot, and coming off injury. I prefer Mafe too. I think they're going to go after Trey Hendrickson, but Angie, I'm going to tell you right now, there are going to be a lot of people swinging after Trey. There are going to be a lot of teams swinging after Trey. So the Cowboys might not do it. They might get beat out. Bass said, I'd lose my mind if we got Devin Lloyd. I'm telling you right now, Bass, that's who I'm going for. I would be going for Devin Lloyd. I would be going for Nakobe Dean. I would be going for Boye Mafe because I think with the money that you could pay them, you can maximize your dollars. You can maximize your dollars. There's no doubt about it. Kippy said, Jerry said, no injured players. He's tired of selecting those kind of players. And Kippy, he also said he's not going to depend and be anticipating on these players coming back like he was with Overshown. The Cowboys have got to approach this like, we don't know if Ezaraku going to be right. We don't know if Overshown going to make it. Don't get caught. Do not get caught. Do not get caught with an injury because this always seems to spoil the Cowboys' plans. Maximize your dollars. That's all you can do. What's up, Lil D Texas? Lil D Texas, let me see what you're saying here. He said, how Dak going to be a leader of men if he can't lead his own family? Well, we got to understand something about Dak Prescott in the grand scheme of things. Dak Prescott is not married. And so until he married her, that's not really his quote-unquote family, but those daughters are. So what he can do as a leader of men, one, is tell people don't do what he did. But also, number two, do everything you can do to take care of your daughters. Do everything you can do to take care of your daughters. And don't do this again. Don't do this again. It's that simple. You can, as I've told my sons, and y'all know what they say about preacher sons, preacher's daughters. But as I told my son, see, it doesn't make you a man. It's not that you're not a man when you make a mistake. It's what you do after you make a mistake that proves the man that you are. So Dak Prescott, it's a mistake. Bottom line, it's a mistake. He made it, put it behind you. Now it's time to move on. It's time to move on. You just got to take the next step, continue to be the man, and keep working towards the man that God wants you to be. Keep working towards that, and you'll be okay. It's all going to work out. All right. Bama Boy, what's going on, Bama Boy? He said, gee, there's talks of Pittsburgh outside linebacker. Vach talked about him. Yeah, I think I saw something about that, but until he gets out there, I got to see it. Angie said, might as well double dip. I put my hand on Oh, you better stop. Oh, yeah, people don't know about that song. Boy, people don't know about that song. Kimmy said, if we can get Dean and Lloyd and Wolin and draft Bailey and the safety from Oregon, I'm moving in the star. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. The Cowboys, man. The Cowboys got a great opportunity. The Cowboys got a great opportunity that if they will just play their cards right, they can get some players, man, I mean, they can get some players. I think Nakobe Dean, I don't know why, but I just think Nakobe Dean is a done deal. I'm not going to be surprised if Quincy Williams is here, probably on a very affordable and cheap deal. But again, I'm hoping the Cowboys fool everybody. Go out there and try to get. I mean, I'm gonna tell you this: while everybody's trying to get Trey Hendrickson, I'll be honest with you, I go out there and get Devin Lloyd first. I'd go out and get Devin Lloyd first. I'd go out and get Devin Lloyd, Nakobe Dean, and then if he's there, then I'll come back. If Trey Hendrickson is there, I'll come back. But if he's not, because let me tell you something. You got to watch the Raiders. The Raiders are so far under the cap that they will be penalized if they don't start spending money. I would not be surprised if they were to go after a player. Even I don't think he probably fits what they want to do. So I'm not going to say them, but I do think the Buffalo Bills are probably going to go after Trey Hendrickson. I think you're going to see a team like that. I think you're going to see the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears are trying to cash in the lottery right now. I can see the Chicago Bears. They couldn't get Max Crosby. I can see the Chicago Bears trying to go after him, trying to go after Trey Hendrickson. Angie said over shoulders apart time. Oh man. Grave Digger, he said, man, Trey going for 30 minutes like Jerry's liquor store bill for a weekend, drinking that Johnny Walker Blue. Hey, Grave Digger. Hey, man. I think Trey going for 30 million plus. I really do. Dono be the best. He said, I'd rather have Nakobe Dean, Quincy Williams, and Alex Singleton. I think they're going to definitely get Nakobe Dean. I think Quincy's going to be here too. Not sure about Alex Singleton, but I think those two are going to be here. I really do. Oh, Brandy, you just said so. Brandy said Sean Lee's body didn't like football. Oh, man. Boy, Bama boy, he said, yeah, hey, G, boy, yeah. Hey, that's who I would love for the Cowboys to get. I would love for the Cowboys to get Boye. I would. Kippy said Dak is mentally stable. Yeah, I think he is too. Angie, I think Jerry been listening to you. Angie said, I'm tired of ligament game. Jerry said no more. He said not dealing with that no more. So I love it. I love when he said that. What's going on, Country Field? So I'm just telling you, man, if I'm the Cowboys, I'm approaching this thing like, you know what, man? I want Trey Hendrickson. I want Trey Hendrickson. But, I just think the Cowboys got to be smart with Trey Hendrickson and not let Trey Hendrickson provoke them into. Now, again, I'm just saying it is what it is, though. On the first day of free agency, you're just going to have to face the facts. You're overpaying. That's the bottom line. You're just going to overpay. So pick out that player that you're going to overpay for it, and just keep moving forward. I think Trey Hendrickson is going to be that player, though, the Cowboys are going to try to bust the bank on come Monday. I think the Cowboys are going to throw a crazy deal out there at him, and we're going to see what happens. But if the Cowboys go straight to 30, it might be the juggler as it applies to everybody else. It might absolutely be the juggler as it applies to everybody else, but we'll see. Brady said they get paid and their bones decide to break. Bill said rumors are about the Cowboys getting Bobby Wagner. Boy, if I was Dan Quinn, I'd be so mad if the Cowboys went and got Bobby Wagner. Dan Quinn was literally on his knees almost begging for this man. Ain't no way. Great. David said, man, these boys getting hurt in practice wouldn't have made it bad in Jimmy Johnson coaching days. Nah, man. Running them up the middle drills would put them players in a coma. Man, these players couldn't make it today under Jimmy. And if they did make it under Jimmy, it'd be the same result. We'd be winning the Super Bowl. Boy, you crazy, dude. He said we need to replace Bland's bones with Wolverine's skeleton. Boy, y'all crazy. Okay, let's see here. Sub-Zero said, I think that what is happening in this offseason is a group effort. Shoddy, Christian Parker, and Steven on the case. Dak Prescott, Jones will be all good. Yeah, man. David Wallace said, Bobby who? He said, heck no. Yeah, I don't know about Bobby Wagner, but I know this. I know Dan Quinn probably lose his mind. All right, man, moving right along, man. It's gonna be an exciting free agency. I want to let you hear Mike Mayock.
Yes! Here we go!
I believe Mike Mayock was maybe on that Mad Dog 2020. But I think what's his name? Mayock? Mike Mayock, he said that Caleb Downs is not a top 10 safety. And when I heard this, I said, is this man on Thunderbird? I'm like, what is going on with this man? I mean, I think sometimes people be saying stuff trying to be clever. I think they be saying stuff trying to be clever. Man, I think this man is drinking Thunderbird with Kool-Aid in it. What's going on, Miss Matrix? What's going on? What's going on, 555 Kayla? It's good to see you. Lisa Worley, what's going on? Angie, I'm gonna have to let you know. Lisa Worley done took your man. Her avatar is CD Lamb with his shirt off. She has officially disregarded Jalen Tolbert, and she has taken your man. All right, let me see here. Mills, boy, you ain't lying. They gonna get it 5 years. It'll be 5 years too late, boy. It'll definitely be 5 years too late, for sure. Newhouse Phelps said, I already knew what you was about to talk about, man. Newhouse said, I would never let Blaine live down getting his ankles broke on the goal line with them church shoes. Man, boy. CGW, yeah, I'm talking about a shopping spree, man. I'm talking about Rodeo Drive, man. I'm talking about Rodeo Drive. Angel said CD Lamb can have side pieces. I'm a main core. Boy, great nigga said he drinking that bottle of nitrate as a chaser. Man, this dude, Mike Mayock, had me rolling. He says that Caleb Downs is not a top 10 a top 10 safety. Man, let me tell you something. I hope he telling the truth. So he can fall right on to the Cowboys. I would love for him to fall right to the Cowboys. Let's check this story out.
You watching the combine, you seeing all these kids work out. Do you have a general sense of the draft so far? What do you think?
It was obviously apparent, and you guys made a big deal out of how every position group got faster except quarterback, which doesn't even matter.
Right.
But just the speed that some of these guys are moving at, and I kind of, they're going into the combine, I'm worried about different position groups and some guys I want to see. And I mean, right off the top, I wanted to see what Jeremiah Love weighed in at. Because when I watched his tape this fall, my final evaluation was basically, look, if he's 195 pounds, I've got one view. If he's 210, I got another view. And he came in at 212 pounds, around 436, and had a great workout. So for me and some of my buddies around the league, I think that took away some of that. Is he kind of a third down guy that can't carry a load? Or at 212, I mean, that's legit. And Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson went 8 and 12 in the same year. And you got to make a decision. Every franchise, it has a top 10 or 15 pick. Like, is this kid going to help change who we are offensively, just like Gibbs and Bijan Robinson have done? So I kind of felt like that was the first thing I looked for. I wanted to see what the kid weighed in at, so I had a verified weight, and then how he moved at that weight.
Yeah, we talked with Todd McShay earlier, Mike, and we're just noticing that what if there's a draft where the best players are safeties, running backs, and interior linemen or tackles who might be kicked inside? Like, what happens if those are your best players and those are potentially the difference makers, and you've got a top 5, if not a top 10 pick? do you fire in that direction or not? And I'm wondering what your 2 cents on the subject matter are.
I think it's pretty simple. If a kid's a dynamic player at any position, you take them, especially if it matches up with any type of need. But I mean, you look back. I mean, if are you not going to take Zach Martin at 6 or 8 or 10 or whenever he was taken, the big lineman out of Notre Dame because he was a guard? Are you not going to take Jahmyr Gibbs or Bijan Robinson? Are you not going to take the safety from Baltimore, Hamilton, that went at 14? Or you're not going to take the safety in the Chargers? If he's a difference maker, if he's dynamic, I think you have to take him. End of story.
The end of story. Is Sonny Styles that guy?
I'm a big fan, and I'm happy you mentioned him because I didn't even write him down today. But I started watching him in 23 when he was a boundary safety and a dime. And he was this big, good-looking safety, and I'm trying to figure out what he's going to turn into. And what he turned into was this. In 24, they moved him to off-the-ball linebacker, and you could see spurts of being special. However, his instincts were tough because it was a brand-new position, off-the-ball linebacker. He wasn't coming downhill. He wasn't being heavy. That all changed this year. I mean, you saw a combination of an unbelievable set of physical traits combined with a guy that was getting used to playing a new position. I think he's a top 10 pick in any draft. I don't care if it's 2 or 5 or 8. He's really a good football player. That kid I love.
And so we are all assuming Fernando Mendoza goes 1, Mike, and then so the Jets have they're the first on the clock of this. What do you do, right? What do you do when you got edge rushers and you got Sonny Styles sitting there, who can be as special as anybody? What do you do at 2? What do you think?
You've got Sonny Styles, you've got Arvell Reese.
You got Bailey too.
And Bailey's another conversation I want to have in a minute. I'm not quite as high as everybody on Bailey. But Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, I'm not as high as a lot of the Jets at the quarterback position. Top of the 2nd round, Ty Simpson. Is he the answer you really want there? He's a 1-year starter. And we all know what the history of 1-year starters in the first round.
So you kind of heard what he kind of said there about Caleb Downs. And he really wasn't up on Caleb Downs the way he is on these other players. But I think it would be a mistake. And I don't think the Cowboys would make that mistake if Caleb Downs was there. Man, Cowboys taking Caleb Downs. I don't think there's any way Caleb Downs will make it down to 12. I just don't. I mean, I'm not saying he's not, but I just don't think he's going to make it down there to 12. I mean, that top 10 in this draft is just really, really, really good. All right, guys, so I want to have some fun for the next hour. I mean, we've already been having fun this first hour, man. Y'all the best chat on YouTube. Boy, y'all be having me laughing, man. Blogging the boys put together a really good list. I think it was yesterday. 8 free agency mistakes the Cowboys need to avoid in 2026. I mean, I just saw the article. I figured I'd just react to it right with y'all on live, and y'all can comment in the chat. But they got 8 free agency mistakes the Cowboys need to avoid. I want to see if y'all agree with them on this, what they're saying. Yeah, I see the conversation y'all having about Oso Digizua. Man, the Cowboys got to be truthful about Oso Digizua, man. He didn't perform for the money that they paid him. And so I'm wondering if he's going to be a part of some trade coming up here this week. I mean, I'm sure he's got a very team-friendly deal. So maybe some team would be willing to take him in a trade. We'll see. Let me see here. Let's look at the first thing they talk about here. The first mistake the Cowboys shouldn't do. Here are some free agency mistakes the Cowboys shouldn't make. Okay, it says here. The legal negotiation period for free agency will begin at noon Eastern time on March the 9th, and players can officially sign with new teams starting at 4 p.m. Eastern time on March 11th. The opening of free agency kicks off desperate scramble between teams for the best free agents. Would make this a good time to remember that desperation often leads to dumb decisions in the NFL, and this year perhaps more than most, as Matthew Berry of NBC Sports writes in his most interesting things I've heard at the 2026 NFL Combine. Last note that one agent said to me, going to be a really interesting free agency, 10 new head coaches, 20 new coordinators, so much turnover this year that staffs haven't had enough time to do film work, research, scheme fit for everyone available. I asked him if he thought that meant there would be some delayed signings or more mistakes than normal as teams just rush in and worry about missing out. Even if they haven't done a proper amount of research, he said, I don't know. I just know it's going to be wild and weird. So he said on March the 9th, hundreds of free agents will become available, and all of them share one defining characteristic. Their old team did not want to re-sign them. Perhaps because the team didn't want to pay the price the player is demanding, perhaps because the player is too old, injured, or ineffective. Cowboys got to be careful there. Perhaps because the player has fallen out of favor with a new coaching staff. Perhaps the player was no longer a scheme fit, whatever the reason. The fact that their old team didn't want them anymore should make every acquiring team wary of free agents on offer. Here are 8 common free agency mistakes the Cowboys should be particularly wary of. Okay, number 1, the pass rusher coming off of a big year. Okay. I don't really know if there's a pass rusher year. I mean, if anybody that would maybe be the pass rusher that the Cowboys probably should be a little wary about, some of y'all have mentioned it. Trey Hendrickson. I think Trey Hendrickson is going to be fine, but the Cowboys got to understand. I just think this is one of those guys, if you want him, you're going to have to just accept you're going to have to overpay for him. You're going to overpay for Trey Hendrickson if you want him. So we got to understand. We go into the Gucci store. We go into a Louis Vuitton store. If you say you can get the same Louis Vuitton at the knockoff shop, stay in the car. That's all I'm telling you. Stay in the car on Monday. Because I'm telling you right now, this is Chanel. I'm telling you, it's Balenciaga. It's all designer brands on Monday. So you got to decide on whether or not you're going to overpay for this player. Because I'm sure the first player you get in free agency, you're overpaying for him. It's just bottom line. You're overpaying for him. So Hendricks isn't actually coming off of a big year. He's coming off of an injury. And I think the big thing with him was even coming off of the injury, I think some of his injury was because he was trying to hold out and all the things he was doing with Cincinnati, and it just didn't work out. But again, the Cowboys got to understand, if you want Trey Hendrickson, you're going to overpay. But I also think there's something else. I keep making the case, and y'all probably are tired of it, but I keep making the case. I don't think you need the top edge rusher in the game to win Super Bowls, because historically it's been shown. You don't need the best edge rusher in the game. You need the best defense in the game to win a Super Bowl. If you can put together the best defense and get some great high-quality players, you can do this thing the way Seattle has done it and the way the Eagles have done it and the way other teams have done it. The Cowboys are already strong up the middle, minus Oso Digizua, based on everything y'all saying. So the Cowboys just got to understand what it is. It says here, here's an overview of the 16 highest paid free agent rushers from 2024. So here they are. Josh Sweat. Now, Josh Sweat has got a Super Bowl. So they got Dayo Odeyingbo, I guess that's his name, Harold Landry, Hassan Reddick, Joey Bosa, DeMarcus Lawrence, Leonard Floyd, Draymond Jones, Patrick Jones, Micah Hoyt, Von Miller, Dante Fowler, Chauncey Golston, Calais Campbell, Joe Tryon, Darrell Taylor. Now, I do think they might be, when you think about what happened last year, we wound up signing Dante Fowler Jr. coming off a 10 sack season. Man, he looked like he was, I don't know if it was Matt Eberflus' system or what, but this man looked like he didn't even know how to play football half the games. It says of the 16 highest paid edge rushers in free agency, only 5 were able to improve on their sack total from the previous year. With their new team, 1 maintained his level, 10 saw a drop in their sack totals, understanding that sacks are an incomplete metric to measure an edge rusher. I 1,000% agree with that. I 1,000% agree with that. It says overall production from this group of premier pass rushers dropped from 84 to 63 sacks, a drop of 25%. For the 10 players that weren't able to at least maintain their sack total, production dropped 56 to 22 sacks, a decline of 60%. If you were paying premium dollar for an 8-sack guy and only got 3 sacks in return, would you feel you made a good investment? This, of course, is an exercise you can repeat for almost any stat and end up with similar results. It's called regression to the mean, and it occurs in almost all data sets that compare one period to another. He says ideally you want to find players you can pay for potential instead of past performance. That is not easily done in free agency. Yep. And this is the Cowboys. It said last year the Cowboys signed 3 edge rushers: Dante Fowler, Jadeveon Clowney, Peyton Turner. Fowler only got 3 sacks. Clowney got 8.5 sacks. Turner spent the entire year on injury reserve. That's a combined 11.5 sacks for a combined annual contract value of $12 million. So basically, the Cowboys basically paid $1 million per sack out of those 3 guys. And I say Dante Fowler was I think he was the most disappointing out of all of them. Dante Fowler was disappointing. Peyton Turner, I mean, he never touched the field. He never touched the field in the grand scheme of things. So Cowboys just basically gave him money. But yeah, he just said it right here. It's $1 million per sack. It's basically what it was. It says, I am well aware that this didn't help the defense in any shape or form, but in a salary cap era, spending your money wisely is generally a good strategy. It says, while we are inundated with Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson to the Cowboys stories, if the Cowboys are going to spend big money on a free agent edge rusher, chances are they'll look at who's on Bill Barnwell's third-tier pass rushers, which he calls capable starters. And look who is on this list. This is the list that we were choosing from. If I'm the Cowboys, I'm targeting Boye Mafe. That's who I would be targeting if I were the Cowboys. I would be targeting Boye Mafe. Jalen Phillips, I think he's going to stay with the Eagles. Odafe is staying with the Chargers. So I would be looking at Boye Mafe. That's who I would be looking at. Khalil Mack, he's already off the list. And if I could, maybe I'd even try to double dip. If I could get Boye Mafe and come back and get Kwity Paye? If I could get Kyson, if I could get them cheap, I'd double dip. I'd double dip at the edge. I would also consider from the Cowboys, I would actually get Boye Mafe. I would see if Jadeveon Clowney is gone on day 1. And if Jadeveon Clowney is not gone by day 1, if I'm the Cowboys, I would get Boye Mafe and consider coming back and getting Jadeveon Clowney on day 3. I really would. I really would. Lisa Worley, I'm with you. Lisa Worley said, bring back Clowney. He was awesome. They said for some reason he don't fit the scheme. I just wonder if it's the pay they're talking about. Edge said, gee, how many pressures did those? Edge, I don't know how many he had last season, but I can tell you this, it didn't seem like many, especially for the money that he got paid. Especially for the money he got paid. He did not do anything. Newhouse fam said Sanborn and K2 were worse. Yeah, they were bad too. Yeah, they were bad. They were bad too. So I see what they're saying in this thing with the mistake for the Cowboys. And I think they're basically saying is that the Cowboys need to be very wary of going out there and trying to get a Trey Hendrickson. They're basically saying that the Cowboys may not get their bang for their buck. But in the grand scheme of things, man, if you don't want to play in free agency on Monday, stay home. Because you're overpaying for anybody you get on Monday. You can book it. You're overpaying. Yeah, you're overpaying. You're gonna buy that Louis Vuitton belt. You know how you buy a Louis Vuitton belt, and then you see somebody with a knockoff, it look just like yours. And you try to make the argument that yours is real and theirs is not, but they both doing the same thing. So the Cowboys got to make sure that, I'm sure they're gonna overpay for Trey Hendrickson, but they're praying that he is worth what they're gonna pay for him. But if I were the Cowboys, I would really consider making Boye Mafe my target so that I can make sure I can get a Devin Lloyd if I want him. I can get Nakobe Dean. I can get an Alontae Taylor. I mean, I would really be trying to get about 4 or 5 free agents so that I could go in the draft and get something in the first round that could actually supplement what I have. All right, let's see what they said, number 2.
Here we go.
They said beware of a veteran defender from a top defense. Beware of a veteran defender from a top defense. It says there probably isn't a single Seahawks defensive starter that wouldn't be considered an immediate and significant upgrade for the Cowboys defense. Unfortunately, only 4 Seahawks defenders are hitting free agency. Defensive end Boye Mafe, cornerback Josh Joby, safety Kobe Bryant, cornerback Tariq Woolen. But would a Seahawks defender really be as effective in Dallas, playing in the Cowboys yet to be determined defensive scheme, which it sounds like it's going to be primarily 3-4, next to 10 other defenders as he was in Seattle. And the same is true with other players from teams with great defenses. Case in point, I believe, is DeMarcus Lawrence. Wasn't that great here. Looked real good when he got with all them players over in Seattle. It says the issue is that you're never sure whether the player you're acquiring is good because of his talent, because of the scheme his team employed, or because of the teammates he played alongside. If the Cowboys are looking for a veteran defender, their best bet would be to sign a good player playing on a bad defense. Now, this is the argument that I've been making with people about Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson has actually been playing on bad defenses. Yeah. Trey Hendrickson's been playing on bad defenses, and he was cleaning up. Those 2 years, he was getting 17 and a half sacks. The Cincinnati Bengals defense was spam, man. I mean, it was ramen noodles. It was bad. And he was getting 17 and a half sacks a season. It says those players tend to be cheaper anyway, but that's not going to be the case with Trey Hendrickson. And they might prove a better bet than the Cowboys' disastrous penchant for former first-round picks that didn't pan out. No more former first-round picks for the Cowboys. It says the Saints, for example, were a middling defense last year, and their 27-year-old corner, Alontae Taylor, is hitting free agency. The Saints play a 3-4 defense. Taylor played 566 of 1,056 snaps in the slot. Could be an option for the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to go for him, too. A list that Nick Harris put together, free agents. I would definitely like the Cowboys. I think they ought to look at Quay Walker. I think he'd be good. Alex Singleton from the Broncos. I'd have to do some looking at him. I would not be surprised if Reed Blankenship from the Eagles. I just wouldn't be surprised if he wound up with the Cowboys. I really wouldn't, because I think if you get some ex-players from the Eagles, I think it really helps you to get that defensive scheme. You got more people who already know the scheme, and I think it helps. All right, let's see the third thing he has here.
Here we go.
Let me read some of y'all chats real quick. Max said, I agree, Fowler was a huge disappointment. Personally, I was very disappointed with Sam Williams this year. Oh, man. Sam was a huge disappointment, bro. Huge disappointment. CGW said they released Perry on Winfrey even though he didn't play her down. It's business, yeah. No quitty pay. What was made previous salary, even though market value. This is a copycat league. Yeah. Yeah, 555. He said, yeah, man, Fowler was a big disappointment. He was, man. He was a big disappointment. Lisa Worley said the only player they should overpay is Hendrickson. He is going to be the one they're going to overpay for. They're going to the Louis Vuitton shop. Yeah. Might not be worth it, but I think they're going to the Louis Vuitton shop. And I think they're going to try to come out with Trey Hendrickson. I do. Bad said, man, Robin Noodle slap G. Come on. Man, I'm telling you, man. Telling you, Baz, it was bad, bro. It was bad. Okay, so number 3 mistake the Cowboys can make.
Here we go.
Ignoring why the old team let the player go. It says in the NFL it doesn't happen often that one man's trash is another man's treasure. It actually happens quite a bit if you ask me. It says there are a variety of reasons why teams decide not to re-sign their own free agents, and most of them don't bode well for the player's future with another team. There are exceptions, though. Yeah, I think there's quite a few. It says one of them is when a free agent may actually be more valuable to the new team than to the old team. Maybe the new scheme or system is a better fit for the player. Maybe the player steps out of the shadow of an elite and or a high-cost player. Maybe the coaching staff on the new team can help the player improve more. I think this is going to be one of the issues with the Cowboys. It says lots of maybes. That's what you have a scouting department for, and increasingly also an analytics department. Say you may think this is a bit of a fluffy point, but it is the difference between signing Charles Haley and winning 3 Super Bowls, or signing Greg Hardy and stop it, and having to live with those results on and off the field. It said it also brings us back to an earlier point. Former first-round picks. Did you know that the Cowboys had 10 former first-round picks on this defense in 2025? You find it hard to believe. Here they are. Man, this is mind-blowing to me. Last year, it's like every one of these guys we were going for, they were all former first-round picks. And the majority of these former first-round picks were terrible for the Cowboys. They were terrible. Man, we were so excited last year when the Cowboys went and got all these former first-round picks. It was insane. It was insane. And most of them didn't work out. Jadeveon Clowney, first-round pick. And, you know, Jadeveon Clowney, man, I really feel bad for Jadeveon Clowney because people blew Jadeveon Clowney out of the spot for knocking a man's helmet off in college football. I mean, it was the hit heard around the world. Man, Jadeveon Clowney was an instant star. He wasn't bad in college. He was great in college. But I think there was the expectations for Jadeveon Clowney were so high. And it's like Jadeveon Clowney hasn't stuck with teams the way that you would have think a player like him should have stuck with teams. But Jadeveon Clowney, former first-round pick, I thought he did pretty good with the Cowboys last year, especially when you consider coming off the couch. Dante Fowler, former first-round pick, huge disappointment. Kenny Clark, former first-round pick. I thought Kenny looked pretty good early on, but teams began to double and triple team Kenny, and that's what really made Oso Odigizua stand out, because Oso Odigizua, even with Kenny getting double teamed, he couldn't do anything the way that he was doing the previous season. Malik Hooker, former first-round pick, number 15th, just terrible. I'm sorry, the Cowboys need to replace both of their safeties. Defensive tackle Solomon Thomas, former first-round pick. I believe Solomon Thomas played well, though. Solomon Thomas played well. I think he's going to be okay for the Cowboys. He's a good rotational piece. Defensive tackle Quentin Williams, he's still him. Quentin Williams is an absolute beast. Linebacker Kenneth Murray, oh my gosh. I did not know Kenneth Murray was a former first-round pick, 23rd overall. Wow. Wow. Kenneth Murray? No wonder the Cowboys were so high on him. Wow. Peyton Turner, 28th overall, first round pick. Kyrie Elam. I still say the Cowboys, man, I'm starting to wonder, though, about Kyrie Elam. Was it Matt Eberflus' system? Because before they implemented that system, Kyrie Elam was the best cornerback. He was the best cornerback in the Cowboys camp. I mean, he was killing it. Intercepting passes, pass breakups. I mean, they were interviewing him. I mean, this dude was balling. Only for the season to start, man. This dude was so bad. Kyrie Elam was so bad that even Matt Eberflus lasted longer than him. How in the world, bro? And then, of course, Mozzie Smith. He was the Cowboys' own first round pick. Just never worked out. 26th overall. We had, man, this is insanity. How does your defense be this bad with 10, count them, 10 former first round picks? What? Boy, ain't no way. Ain't no way. This is crazy work. This is something I want the Cowboys to stay away from this year. All these former first round picks. Oh, this guy, we had him on the draft board we had him on the draft board in 2010. We didn't get an opportunity to get him. We know it's 2026, but we still think he got some juice left in the tank. Cowboys, don't do it. Don't do it. If another team cut them because they were out of gas, please stop thinking there's more gas in the tank. Talking about you're gonna try to get that little piece of gas out the corner. Man, that gas in the corner ain't gonna get you nowhere, man. Stop it. Stop it. All right. Let's look at the next one.
Yes! Here we go!
Fourth mistake they said the Cowboys shouldn't make. Valuing physical traits over mental capacity. This is the Cowboys in spades. This is the Cowboys in spades. They love, oh yeah, he's athletic. He can do that. Man, we don't care nothing about these guys. Most people in the NFL are athletic to a degree. Can he play? Can he play? This is something else that gets the Cowboys. Football is an ultra physical game, and as we just saw at the combines, fans, media, scouts, and GMs, practically everybody gets wrapped up in the physical aspect of the game. 40 times and a 225-pound bench press reps were racing across the TV all week. Man, boy, the combine has got to be one of the most deceptive things out there in the grand scheme of things, man. It is so deceptive, boy. Yeah, CGW said we have a lot of dead weight on the roster. Yeah, because we've made some of these mistakes, for sure. Big Rumbowski in the crib. What's up, Big Rumbowski? Big Rumbowski, I agree. He said at some point everything is not even Flu's fault. Put the blame on the free agent list where the blame solely lies. McClay and the scouting department. Big Rumbowski. And you're right, some of these players, they're just really not that smart in the grand scheme of things. And I think they be going by some of these, Cowboys be using some of these metrics that you probably shouldn't be using. And I'm hoping they're going to remedy this going forward with this new coaching staff. It says here, but we are overvaluing physical traits at the expense of mental capacity. I hesitate to call out any current or former players. You don't do that. You have to be in them streets, man. You be to talk about one of these players and get knocked in the head. It says, but if a player just keeps racking up stupid penalties, still bites on play action of the 4 years in the NFL, consistently runs in the wrong direction, or doesn't understand his assignment in zone defense, that you got a problem. Cowboy fans, how is it we go from Mike McCarthy, to Brian Schottenheimer. We go from Mike Nolan to Dan Quinn, Mike Zimmer, Matt Eberflus. Can anybody explain to me, why do we continue to be one of the most penalized teams in the NFL? All 4 of these coaches, all 7 of these coaches, there has to be something inherently wrong with the players. I'm sorry. Something is wrong with some of the players we have, man. Something is wrong with some of the players. It says in this day and age where players need to be smart both on the field and off the field. NFL teams can perhaps afford dumb players less than ever before. You can't win with dumb players in the NFL. Bottom line, I agree. You can't win with dumb players. You can't. You can't win with dumb players. Clifford Hyler said Kyrie Elam, he says he got gashed from too many different wide receivers. Jerry Jones stopped paying for trash players. Yeah, man. He's Waha says Dallas Means don't call friends out on teams like Jake Ferguson, not enough production. Oh man, yes. CGW said we don't have a playoff roster right now, but I think we will after the draft and free agents. I think we're gonna have a playoff roster, but you're right. Yeah. Rumbowski said a competent run scouting department has the film ready on the free agents to show the new DC. This player has nothing left in the tank. Yeah. Yeah. Jeremy Best, what up? He said, guys have talent, but no actual football intelligence. Bottom line. Man, let me tell you something. Kenneth Murray would run circles around all of us, or most of us in this chat. But as it applies to diagnosing plays and diagnosing plays and instinct, man, some of y'all former football players out there probably could do better than Kenneth Murray. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Some of y'all could probably do better than Kenneth Murray when it comes to plays, man. Can't diagnose plays in football speed. Can't be versatile. Can't adjust. Can't be multiple. Angie lacks discipline. All of those. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on, man. Grave nigga said we went from the penthouse in the 90s to the house the past 30 years. Come on, man. Keith Washington, he said, the Cowboys free agency has been the definition of insanity. Keep on doing the same things, hope for a different result. Man, hey, this list is hitting it right on the head with the Cowboys, man. It says the Cowboys seem to be catching on, at least for new Cowboys defensive Christian Parker. There's a premium on the brain when looking for players. He said, I still think that you want a lot of athletic, fast guys because there are going to be times when there is space and you have to eliminate it. He said last week on The Fan. He said, we're not trotting out a YMCA basketball team. He said, we still want to be fast and aggressive, but I will say there's a premium on instincts. There's a premium on the brain. Let's go. At different spots, they have to handle a different mental workload in terms of where their eyes have to be. You want guys to be able to process those things quickly, but you can't go out there with a bunch of height, weight, and speed guys either. This is not an operation where we're going to roll the ball out in the Whataburger parking lot and just play 7-on-7. We got to be able to process and do those things the right way. And I'm going to tell y'all this. It is time for Demarion Overshown to make that next step. It is time for Demarion Overshown to remain healthy for an entire season. But it's also time for Demarion Overshown to stop just relying on athleticism. He's got to get that brain part down too. Because if he can get that brain part down, Demarion Overshown going to be one of the best ones out there. But he's got to get all of that together. So I'm really coaching staff that we have. I am. Lisa Worley, you are exactly right. Murray was always in the wrong place. Man, people will be out there trying to Man, people be out there, hey, man, Murray ain't as bad nah, man, Murray was that bad. Mac Man said, I agree, something is wrong with some of these players, but it's on the coaches in front office to get rid of those players. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's go to the fifth issue they said the Cowboys have to avoid in free agency.
Yes! Here we go!
Number 5, the player you'll ask to do something else. What's going on, Tyrone Church? What up, David Everett? It says, in free agency, you usually pay 2 types of premiums. One premium is the auction premium that we'll look at in the next point. The other premium is usually the price you pay for a very specific ability the free agent has and excels at. A wide receiver, for example, may be a good route runner. He may be a good slot receiver. He may be a good red zone target or something else. Some receivers can do all those things at an elite level, but they also cost elite cap crippling money. And when you acquire that free agent with a specific ability, you're paying a premium for that one specific skill he excels at. So you'd better make darn sure your scheme allows him to excel at that specific trait, because if you're going to ask the guy to do something else that he's not quite good at, you almost certainly have overpaid the player. Your press corner. Well, suck it up, Buttercup. You're playing zone in our scheme. This is why I think I'm telling y'all right now, I am excited for Trayvon Diggs. I want to see what Trayvon Diggs, with a whole offseason of rest, relaxation, rehab. I want to see Trayvon Diggs come back and play. Because this is one of the issues with Diggs. Diggs couldn't play in the system. Diggs couldn't play even in Zimmer's system. Not because Diggs forgot how to play. Diggs is a man corner. Bottom line. Diggs is a man corner. I mean, that's his nature. He's a man corner. He needs to be in a system to where they play predominantly man. Predominantly man. Diggs hasn't forgot how to play corner. Diggs' body has betrayed him. But if Diggs can get back healthy, I want to see what Diggs does with another team. Because this is where the Cowboys have got to be careful. And this is why they got to be, got to let Christian Parker really have a hand in picking these players. Because he's got to find players that can play in multiple schemes. He's got to find those players. It says you ran a 4.40 at the combine. Big deal. Show me how fast you can block. You've always rushed from a three-point stance. Good news. Like Bob Marley said, we're going to make you get up and stand up. It says at the end of the day, football is a game of systems and schemes. You can win by getting the right personnel to maximize your system, or you can win by adjusting your scheme to maximize your talent. But you won't win if you play your talent in the wrong scheme. Yeah. Yeah. That was one of the reasons why it was good for Diggs to move on from the Cowboys. Because Diggs needs to be in a system that fits what he does. And I'm worried about Bland. We'll see what Bland does. We'll see what Bland does with Christian Parker in this scheme. But he's going to run quite a bit of zone. Christian Parker don't run a lot of man. They run quite a bit of zone in that system that he runs. So it is going to require players who can play, that can play smart in that system. And I don't know, do we have those corners? I mean, Savon Revel Jr., we got to see what he does. I don't really know what Savon Revel Jr. is. I think Savon played a lot of a man and things like that in college too. We'll see what he is. See if he can adjust and play some of this zone and rotation that Christian Parker likes to play. We're going to see if I'm just telling you right now, I'm worried about DaRon Bland. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Man, when you're a cornerback and you start having feet issues, man, you can't have feet issues as a cornerback. You got to do too much backpedaling. You got to do too much changing the speed. You got to do too much change of direction. You got to do too much tackling, especially in a defense like Christian Parker. I mean, I'm worried about DeRon Bland. I mean, we saw them feet give way last year in some games. I mean, I'm sorry, but that Arizona Cardinals game, oh my gosh. Marvin Harrison Jr., man, boy, you had DeRon Bland out there looking like Fred Astaire. Look, man, looking like Michael Jackson in Smooth Criminal. Man, he had DeRon Bland out there dancing, man. Dancing. I don't know if y'all remember that old song about Michael Jackson, Dancing Machine. But Marvin Harrison Jr. had DeRon Bland out there like a dancing machine. It was bad, boy. CGW said, Mr. G, football is a young man's game. He said they need teachable guys that will buy into the scheme. Otherwise, going to be saying, here we go. They mean, there we go. You know what, though, CGW? Y'all do agree it's mostly a young man's game. But you do need some veterans in there, too. You do. You need some veterans in there. Gravedigger said also, Eberflus had something to do with that from everyone on the defense side of the ball. Yeah, Eberflus is, man, oof. Man said, I like the mentality behind it. You can't be dumb. You have to be football smart. Football IQ. Yeah. James Booth said, Diggs is done, Jim. I'm sorry. The injuries derailed his career. His body gave up on him. But, hey, he went into the offseason healthy. He's going to get some time for some rest and relaxation, more rehab. I think Diggs got a chance to come back and revitalize his career depending upon where he goes. He said, give me Hendrickson, Minka, 2 safeties, and please let's move on from Hooker and Wilson. Yes, sir. Yeah, I would love for him to get Minka Fitzpatrick too. Yep, I really would. I think that Hendrickson is going to be the player they're going to pay the money for. Okay, Eric Stokes. Okay, I'll check that out, Mr. Todd Church. Appreciate you. Tyrone Church, I agree with you 100%. Bland needs to stop rushing back. Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, Bad said he had him on skates. Shoo. Skates. I don't know if you call them skates. Man, shoo. Yeah, remember that old song, Bad? Slide, slippity slide. Seal over. Boy, yeah, that boy messed up, boy. Yeah, that boy messed up. Edgy said she dead, Smooth Criminal. And that boy messed up, boy. And that boy messed up. Clifford Hyler. See, those are mind issues. You're talking about penalty-prone players? That's mind issues. Bland can't handle certain wide receivers. They put him on skates. Yeah. You got them Heelys on. Lisa Worley, remember them Heelys? Got them Heelys on when you get with them certain wide receivers. The wheels just come out of the bottom of them shoes. That's what happened to him. Bernard said Thriller. Man, you better believe it. Boy, it's a Thriller night, boy. Marvin Harrison Jr. had that boy on a Thriller night, boy. It was bad, boy. It was bad. It was. Frank Lawrence said anybody remember the glory days before CTE crazed players were judged by toughness and discipline, playing through injuries and sucking it up and winning the game and true good in the fourth quarter. Yeah, man, these players are different, man. Yeah, these players are different these days. So, you know, these are some great points that they're making. What's going on with them boys? That boy was doing the electric slide. Yes, sir. Doing the electric slide, boy. Hey, Clifford, I think he is going to be the slot corner. I said it last year at the close of the season. I said we're just going to have to accept the fact DeRon Bland's going to be the highest paid slot corner in the league. Bottom line. Going to be the highest paid slot corner. James said Nakobe Dean, Minka, and Hendrickson and draft the young studs. I do. Angie said Bland had on them tables. Yeah, boy, they had that boy dancing, boy. He's a dancing machine, like Michael Jackson said. All right, so let's go to number 6.
Yes! Here we go!
Bash, you remember them? Boy, yeah, them penny loafers, boy. I remember sometimes going out there and playing football and them penny loafers sliding all over the place. Real estate vet said, I'll ask his agent how Bland feeling. I'm cool with his agent out here in Las Vegas. Yeah, man. Real estate vet, he got to get healthy, man, for sure. Hey, number 6. What have I been telling y'all? I hadn't even seen this list. What did I tell y'all? Number 6, you are going to overpay regardless. Bottom line. I'm telling you right now, Don't even come out on Monday if you don't plan on spending money. You ever ask somebody to go to the mall with you, and they go to the mall broke? They go to the mall broke, window shopping, talking about when they get paid and what they gonna do, what they gonna do when they come back to the mall. Doggone well, they ain't coming back. They ain't got no money, man. They ain't got no money. When you going shopping, man, you gotta to go shopping, you gotta have money, man. I mean, my mama used to love the bargain shop. She take you to Goodwill on Saturday. This ain't Goodwill Day. Goodwill Day is for like weeks 3, 4, and 5. We going to Neiman Marcus. We going to Neiman Marcus on Monday. We going to Neiman Marcus. You gonna overpay. You just gotta accept it. You're going to overpay. You're going to overpay regardless. Timothy Golden, what's going on? Yeah, Bland. No, you know what? I think Bland is going to be where he should be. I think they're going to have him working in the slot some. But I don't know, in this 3-4 defense, I don't know. We'll see. He'll be fine. But I'll tell you this is one of those issues where, man, you're paying him $50 million. I mean, you ain't got no choice. I don't know. He's going to have to play. And he's not going to play safety, but he's going to have to play corner for you. Yeah, Angie, window shoppers. Angie, y'all know, hey, man, sometimes when you going shopping, you got to leave some people. You got to leave some people at home, man. You got to leave certain people at home, man. You don't want to go somewhere and somebody's fingers get sticky, and then you go out to eat. They be asking you, can they borrow money? Can you pay for the food? Now you got to let people know up front. Hey, man, we going shopping. You got any money? Yes or no? Because you ain't got no money, you ain't coming. Yeah, we going shopping on Monday. And we are going to overpay. I'm just telling you now, we're going to get overpaid. We're going to overpay. Big Rumbowski said pre-CTE players were also nowhere near bigger, stronger, and faster as today's players. You know what, Big Rumbowski? They might have been big. It's strange. They were not bigger, stronger, and faster. I would agree with you on faster. Maybe stronger because there's a lot of weight work today. Bigger, some. But I do think some of the players of the past were way bigger. But I also say this, Big Rumbowski. Those older players were so much tougher, though. They just were so much tougher, man. They really were. They spent their offseason drinking beer, smoking cigs, and selling furniture, too. Yeah, they were tougher. Bernard Fields, you ain't lying. They leaving broke, too. You right. You right. You right. They going shopping, bro, and they coming back broke. I agree with you. Angie said all that buddy Blair got, he should have been able to afford quality cleats. Newhouse fam said he got one more time to get his ankles broke. Man, let me tell you something. He here to stay, Newhouse fam. I'm sorry. Too much money. He here to stay. Too much money with Bland. I don't understand. You know what? I wouldn't have done, there are 2 deals I wouldn't have done if I were the Cowboys. I would have not have done Jake Ferguson's deal, and what I would not have done DaRon Bland's contract. Those are 2 contracts I wouldn't have done. DaRon Bland and Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson, I don't care if he did give the team a team-friendly deal. He's still robbing them. He's still robbing them with a team-friendly deal. DaRon Bland, I don't even know why the Cowboys extended him. I'd have made him play one more season. I really would have. I would have made DaRon Bland play one more season. All right, number 6, you're going to overpay. It says even if you need the previous points, you'll end up overpaying for your free agents anyway. Bottom line. Because the team that overestimates a free agent's value the most will most likely be the team that offers the most and wins the free agency auction, but at the cost of paying an auction premium, which just means that free agents tend to be signed by teams that misjudge their true worth the most, which is why free agent signings end up as disappointments so often. It is what it is. It says there are only very few exceptions to this point. One of them is that the free agent may actually be more valuable to the new team than to the old team. Maybe the new scheme of the system is a better fit for the player. Maybe the player steps out of the shadow of an elite player. They mentioned that earlier. Or a high-cost teammate. Maybe the coaching staff on the new team can help the player improve. They mentioned that. This, of course, is a common fantasy among all NFL coaching staffs. Lots of maybes and lots of wishful thinking's going on there. It says Javonte Williams and George Pickens, even if he was acquired via trade, not free agency, are two recent examples of exceptions to the auction premium. Yes. But we have to wait and see if that still holds true with their new contracts. Yep. Javonte Williams outplayed his contract. George Pickens, he outplayed his contract. I believe Solomon Thomas played pretty well on his contract. I mean, there was some players the Cowboys brought in, and I thought they played above those contracts, especially Javonte and George. And this is why they are going to get paid. All right, let me see. Jeremy Bennett said they don't make them like they used to. That includes humans too. Yeah, I think Rumbowski makes a great point. Yeah, they are kind of bigger, faster, and stronger, but they're not as tough. Yeah, they're not as tough. Rumbowski said with today's nutrition and diet, the term bigger has a whole different meaning for the NFL today compared to yesteryears. You're right. And I'm going to tell you something, Rumbowski. They're getting bigger differently. My son, he looks like a football player. People always ask him if he plays football. But, you got to realize how these new guys get big. They're on supplements. They're on proteins. They're, all of this nutrition stuff. It's a different kind of strength. But when I was growing up, when you saw a guy that was really muscular, it wasn't because he lifted a lot of weights. It was because he baled hay. He hauled wood. I mean, he did things that it's not that he didn't lift weights, but he also did things that made him stronger than the strength that comes from lifting weights. A lot of people don't realize that the strength that you get from lifting weights and the strength that you get from, for example, hauling wood, baling hay, throwing tires. Man, I'm going to tell you something. That's a different kind of strength. You mess around and start messing with somebody who hauls some wood, man, you might get broke up. That's a different kind of strength. And so I think that's kind of what you're dealing with, Rumbowski, when you're talking about, how these guys, the strength factor today. Because I'm telling you, man, these players in the past, a lot of these guys could play today. Man, they could play today easy. All right, so again, I think number six is the one that's a great point because that's the one I keep harping on. You just got to be, you got to just accept the facts, man. You're going to overpay on Monday. Bottom line, you're overpaying. Trey Hendrickson, I'm telling you now, we're going to overpay. We're overpaying for Trey Hendrickson on Monday. In order for the Cowboys to get Trey Hendrickson, they're going to have to overpay for him. And I believe they're going to overpay for him. Bottom line, they're going to overpay for Trey Hendrickson. I'm prepared for the Cowboys to pay 30, 31, 32. I'm prepared. It's just the game, man. You buy a pair of Nike socks at Neiman Marcus versus buying a pair of Nike socks at Walmart. I don't even know if they sell Nike socks at Walmart. Well, if you buy a pair of Nike socks at Foot Locker, but I don't know if they sell Nike socks at Neiman. I don't know if they sell Nike socks. But all I'm saying is, if you buy a pair of athletic socks at Neiman's versus a pair of athletic socks at Walmart, these two socks are probably going to do the same thing and be as comfortable. But the issue is where you're buying them. It's just the bottom line. You're overpaying. You're overpaying. You're overpaying on Monday, so y'all get ready. They're overpaying. Ed just said Stephen Jones buy his suits from eBay. I believe it. I was looking at some of them eBay suits the other day, Angie. Them Jones be like $98, $99. And you be looking at them suits and you be like, man, that suit like it's supposed to cost about $300 or $400, maybe even $1,000. I bet you, I wouldn't I bet you get one of them suits in, that thing be just like Timu. Don't fit nothing like it looked on the dude on the suit, on the picture. He probably is wearing $1,000 suit telling you it's $100 suit. You get the $100 version, not the $1,000 version. All right, number 7.
Yes! Here we go!
Not being active in free agency at all. The Cowboys have been so guilty of this in the past. Last year, they got their feet back wet and they got back in free agency. They went and got all those former first-round picks. This year, Lisa Worley, you just hit the nail on the head. We need them to cook strong. Man, we need toenails in the food, man. Lisa Worley, we need toenails in the food. I don't know if you've ever cooked greens before. You know, you can steam greens. I've cooked greens all kinds of ways, and you can steam greens, and they're really healthy for you. But man, I'm telling you, when it's time to really eat, man, you gotta go. You gotta go and get that doggone. What's that thing you put in them greens? I forgot what it is. You gotta go and get that pig feet to put in them greens, man. When it's time to cook, man, you just got to do what you got to do. Hey, it's time to put some bacon in them peas, man. You gotta throw down when it's time to cook. We need the Cowboys to be cooking, man, soul food this coming Monday, man. We need the Cowboys to be cooking. We really do. They got to hit on everything. Cowboys got to hit on everything, man. Everything. Says number 7, it says, not being active in free agency at all. It says, despite all the warnings above, free agency remains an indispensable tool in building rosters. It does. It does. It says if it's used properly. It says there are teams like the Steelers or the Packers who have had success by eschewing free agency for the most part. But most teams have to fall back on free agency in some form or another. Good teams will wait a bit for the auction premium to come down and for the free agency frenzy of the first 48 hours to die down. After that initial period, and when the agents and players start getting nervous as they see more and more open slots being filled, prices will drop significantly from where they were at the start of free agency. Free agency is often very costly. Process that's designed to plug holes in your roster. Don't ever think you're just 2 or 3 players away, because no team ever is, except for the 2026 Cowboys if you put any value in what Dan Orlowski has to say. Yep. Especially not in this era of the NFL. And once you understand that, you'll also understand that the best way to assemble elite talent is through the draft and not with your wallet. Hey, you ain't got no choice, man. Cowboys got to cook. Cowboys got to cook. Yeah, the Cowboys got to cook, man. There's no doubt about it. Cowboys got to hook. They got to straight up cook. They got to cook. They got to hit in this free agency. That's all. I don't know anything else to tell us. The Cowboys got to hit in free agency. They do. They do. Everything they do, they got to hit on it. They got to hit on it. Because there's no room this season. There is no room for the Cowboys to bring in 5 or 6 players and they don't hit. There's no room for it. They got to hit. They got to hit on everything. And so let's all understand, we're going into free agency. We're overspending, at least on day 1. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys got Trey Hendrickson on day 1, took a day off on day 2, come back around on day 3 or 4, and then they're going to probably get their Nakobe Dean. And who knows? They could do all this in one day. But I think they're going to get their Nakobe Dean. I think they're going to get their Quincy Williams. We'll see if they get their Alontae Taylor. If they don't attack that in the draft, they may not even go for corner. But I do think what they're going to be going for is edge and linebacker. I think those are the two positions they're going to be going for. And so I think the Cowboys are going to spin. I think they're going to spin. And if they're going to spin, it's probably going to be Trey, Nakobe Dean. If they got to really spin, it'll be Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd's another player you're going to have to spin. So I'm very excited to see what the Cowboys do because I believe Christian Parker is going to have his hands in this. I believe Christian Parker is going to have his hands in this on who he wants. So we're going to see what the Cowboys are going to do. All right, let's hit this last one.
Yes! Here we go.
All right. Free agency is as much about your own players as it is about external free agents. And I do think this is a very good point. Because I do believe I will not be surprised if we wake up tomorrow morning or if we wake up Monday morning and the Cowboys have made a deal with Brandon Aubrey. I would not be surprised if we wake up Monday morning and there's a deal on the table. But if there's not a deal on the table, I'm not even crying about it no more. I'm preparing myself for anything in free agency, and whatever it is, it's going to be what it is. I'm not going to be surprised if the Cowboys lose Brandon Aubrey. I'm not going to be surprised. There are two teams in this draft that have had bad field goal kicking for years, and it has actually cost them games. And that one team in particular is the Green Bay Packers. I got a feeling the Green Bay Packers are coming after Brandon Aubrey. I believe they're coming after Brandon Aubrey. We got to understand the Packers are in a very dire situation. The Green Bay Packers have been a very good team for quite a while now, but they keep getting beat in some of the worst ways in the playoffs. Just continue to fall short. They got Michael Parsons from us last year, and they thought that was going to be the player that took him over the top. He got injured. The field goal kicker has been the field goal kicking. Their field goal kicking has been bad for years. I believe they're coming after Brandon Aubrey. I believe they're coming after. I believe they're going to come out. They're going to come out and probably offer him $7 million. Another team, I believe, is going to come after him too. I believe the Rams are coming after Brandon Aubrey. Tyrone Church, I agree. I think the Rams are coming after Brandon Aubrey. I do. I think they're coming after Brandon Aubrey. I think it's going to be the Rams, and I think it's going to be the Green Bay Packers. There could be another team or two, but I'm telling you, those are the two teams that stick out to me. And I believe they are probably going to come with about $7 million. I think they'll probably try to hit him up with maybe 7.2. I think they're going to try to fish out the Cowboys to kind of see where the Cowboys are. You know, what's the threshold of where the Cowboys won't counter. So I'm not going to be surprised if they come in there with 7.2. 7.2. Might even come with 7.5. I'm not going to be shocked if the Rams and the Green Bay Packers, because they have both. 555 Kalex, he said the Rams got burned by their kicker. Absolutely. The Green Bay Packers got burned by their kicker in some games this year. They're coming after Brandon Aubrey. So it is what it is. I'm not going to cry about it. We'll get a second-round pick. I'm sure they're not going to pick a kicker with that second-round pick. It'll be another defensive player, and so if it'll help the team on defense, help the team be better, then it is what it is. But I'm prepared to lose Brandon Aubrey. And I'm also, and I'm bringing this up for a reason because of point A. And I'm also, I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling out a team coming after George Pickens. I'm not ruling it out. We are watching right now on X. The New England Patriots are offering the Philadelphia Eagles multiple packages for A.J. Brown. They don't want to give up. I think they're wanting 2 first rounders or something like that. They want 2 first rounders for A.J. Brown. I'm thinking it's something in that range. Everybody seems to want 2 first rounders. And the Patriots will not budge off of the 2 first rounders. But they do keep coming back with multiple offers, trying to get them with other packages. And so the New England Patriots, man, they want a wide receiver bad for Drake May. I wouldn't be surprised if they also took a swing at George Pickens. I mean, you think about it. If the Patriots thought they could get a wide receiver in this year's draft, why would they even be trying to trade for A.J. Brown? No, the Patriots are like, no, we went to the Super Bowl last year. We are about 1 to 2 players away. If we had an elite wide receiver, we'd be back in the game and we'd be highly competitive. So if they're going to take on A.J. Brown's salary, well, why wouldn't they take on George Pickens? Because in the grand scheme of things, he would be better than any wide receiver you're going to get this year. He's going to be better than any wide receiver you're going to get next year. So who cares if you give away this year's pick? And then if George is that good, who cares about next year's pick? Because that pick is going to be at number 31 or 32. They went to the Super Bowl. It's going to be at 31 or 32. So you're really not going to be crying about that. I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but I'm not going to be surprised, man, if the Patriots, I'm not going to be surprised if they come after George. I'm not going to be surprised. The Raiders is another team. They got to spend some money. They're bringing in Mendoza. They got to spend some money. They are too far under the salary cap. They may take a swing at George Pickens. Man, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm prepared. It is what it is for me. When you take the chance that the Cowboys are taking, you gotta put in your mind. You gotta accept what comes along with taking a chance. Taking a chance. If you're going to put Brandon Aubrey out there for a second round tender, $5.81 million, then you got to accept. Somebody may come get him. If you're going to put George Pickens out there with the franchise tag and you're going to say that he can negotiate and somebody got to give up 2 first round picks, well, you got to accept that's what that's going to come around with it. Come along with it. And I believe that there are going to be some teams. I think there are going to be some teams because I'm going to do you one even better. I believe David Mulugeta is actually going to pursue some teams on his own. I believe David Mulugeta is going to pick up the phone and he's going to ask teams, hey, do you want George? I'm telling you, I believe that there are some teams that's going to do it. Watch what I tell you. I'm not going to be surprised. Gravedigger said, honestly, I don't see any teams offering 2 first round picks for Pickens. I do. But like you said, never say never in the NFL. Seen wilder things over the years. Gravedigger, the Patriots, it is obvious they're wanting a wide receiver like a George Pickens. And if I'm them, if I'm going to give up first round picks, it will not be for A.J. Brown. It will be for a 24-year-old George Pickens. I've just accepted it. The Big Rumbowski said the team definitely will come after GP. I'd put good money on it. Beyond AJ, it's rather both a weak wide receiver free agent and draft class. I think someone makes $34 to $36 million offer. That's my guess. I'm thinking the same thing. I really am. I'm thinking the same thing. Angie says she'll keep Aubrey and let Pickens go. Well, Angie, it's a chance we might lose both of them. I'm telling you right now, there are teams out there, I believe, that would pay, they would easily pay Brandon Aubrey $7.2, $7.3 million, $21 million guaranteed. Man, there are some teams I believe that will pay him that and won't even blink. Especially teams who feel like that they are that close to the Super Bowl. I don't even think they'll blink. And if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I'd probably come after Aubrey too. I'm not telling you I'd pay him $10 million, but I would definitely call the Cowboys bluff on it. I would definitely try to see if I could get as close to the threshold of the Cowboys not matching as I could. So I'm not going to be surprised if a team offers Brandon Aubrey $7.5 million and see what the Cowboys do. I think the Cowboys threshold on Brandon Aubrey actually is $8 million. I'm just speculating though. I think it's $8 million. Tyrone Church said he thinks Pickens gets a $37 million contract. Tyrone, I think somebody's going to offer him. I really do. I got a strange feeling somebody's going to offer him. Just like I think somebody's going to offer Brandon Aubrey. Because, see, we got to realize something. We're Cowboys fans. And some of us believe the Cowboys are on their way to the Super Bowl. I believe they're going to the Super Bowl. But do they believe that? Do they believe they're going to the Super Bowl? Number two, you might only get one chance to get this money. You might only get one chance. And if they see it, they may take it. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you about George Pickens. This dude has been so quiet. This dude has been so quiet, and it's scary. Normally, you get players who are saying something. I mean, we finally heard from Brandon Aubrey. George ain't saying a word. We don't know how George feels about anything. The only thing we know about how George feels is Jerry Jones. And as much as I like Jerry Jones, I'm not buying that George Pickens was happy to play on a tag. That don't make sense to me. Playing on a tag and wanting to play on a tag, those are two different things. Not having a choice to play on a tag and wanting to play on a tag, those are two different things. Dak Prescott didn't want to play on a tag in the grand scheme of things. That's the part we don't talk about. Dak didn't want to play on a tag. The Cowboys were not offering the money to Dak Prescott. That's why he played on the tag. George don't want to play on the tag either. And so, I got a strange feeling. Somebody's going to come out and offer something for George. I'm hoping they don't. I want George to remain with the Cowboys. I just think he really helps them be that much more high-powered being here. But, man, I just got a feeling somebody's going to offer George. I hope I'm not right on this. Yeah, Derek Rose, he said you might appreciate it to it. Yeah, I'm not sure on that one, but I think it's already in somebody's mind, man. I do. And the more I keep hearing what the Patriots are doing, we're gonna see. Yeah, don't be the best. The Colts gave up their first round picks for Sauce Gardner. And then he turned around and tore an Achilles, right? Gravedigger said if we get offered that money in those two first round picks, that might be too much for Jerry and Steven to refuse at that point. Gravedigger, I think it is going to be too much. I think that's going to be the excuse they use to take a deal. And then they would have 4 first-round picks. They would have, 3 this year? Might be too much for them to pass up. Might be too much. Cowboys could pass him up. They could pass him up and then go out and get the guy from the Colts. Everybody's saying that he's only going to make they're saying the guy from the Colts is only going to make $25 million a year. Alec Pierce, he's a monster of a wide receiver. He's not George Pickens, but he's a big play wide receiver. He really is. He's a big play wide receiver. Big, strong wide receiver. He's a big play. He's not George, but I got a feeling somebody's going to come after him. But if they don't, I'm going to be ecstatic because I want the Cowboys and George Pickens to work out a long-term deal. Quentin Scott said this is going to be tricky. It is. Quentin Scott, I think it is. Angie, I agree with you. He's smart. Angie, you think about this. I'm going to tell you the thing I keep appreciating about George Pickens, whether anybody realizes this or not. But I'm going to tell you what I continue to appreciate about George Pickens. George Pickens continues to prove people wrong. He absolutely continues to prove people wrong. Everybody keeps saying he gonna do this and he gonna do that, and he didn't do none of the stuff that people thought he was gonna do this year. The stuff that he did in Dallas, the Pittsburgh Steelers would have not even blinked had he done the mild things he did in Dallas, especially with the performance. George outperformed what everybody thought he was going to perform. He was a great teammate. He was a great leader for the most part. I mean, George has exceeded expectations. And now we've gotten to this point. It was George Pickens' birthday, I believe, one day this week. George didn't say a word. I think it's smart. Angie said it's smart. I agree. It's smart. Don't say a word. Don't show any anger. Don't say nothing. No, don't say a word. Even his representation, they're not saying a word. They're not saying one word. We're gonna know everything we need to know come this week. Will George sign that? Will he get an offer? And will he sign that franchise tag? And when is he gonna sign it? We're gonna see. This week is gonna tell us a lot. We're gonna get some great players, I believe, in free agency. We're gonna find out if Brandon Aubrey if somebody tries to get Brandon Aubrey. We're gonna find out if somebody tries to get George Pickens. It's gonna be a great week. It's gonna be a great week. It's gonna be an exciting week. We're gonna see how it turns out. Larry Golden said, I think this whole thing stinks. It's about the money, which I understand, but it used to be the love of the game. Cowboys got the goose with the golden egg and they give it up. It deserves them right. Yeah, man, I've been saying this, man. It's that football business. It's the football business, man. It's the part of the game. Let me tell you something. The football business makes a lot of people hate football. I believe that's why Dak Prescott was telling him, don't lose your love of the game. Man, the business. How many fans hate football because of the business? College football isn't the same because of what? The business. And I believe those young men should get paid. There just needs to be some regulations. Some regulations. They might even need to get some agents involved over there. It's just too much. But the business will separate friends. The business will separate teams. The business will separate fans. The business will make you hate the game. This is the business. This is the business, and we all got to live with it, and we all got to deal with it. All right, let's read this last one. So they already said free agency is much your own players. Now, y'all better get ready. I've also prepared myself for this. Y'all do know a part of busting the budget for the Cowboys is going to be signing our own players, don't you? Y'all are aware of this, right? Some of the busting of the budget is going to be our own players. Case in point, the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken, people keep giving different numbers. But if I'm not mistaken, the Cowboys should be right around $10 million under the cap. Now, the issue is that ain't enough to be playing on free agency. That's just not enough. Let me see where the Cowboys are here, if it's updated. Right now, it's showing the Cowboys to only be $1.7 million under the cap, I believe. Yeah, I think it's showing them to be 1.7 million. Let me make sure what number I'm looking at here. Hold on. Yeah, cap space. Let's see, when we look at cap space, all Cowboys. Okay, so cap space all, I guess this is the one we're looking at. So the Cowboys, after doing those adjustments, they are $9 million under the cap. That is not enough money to be out there talking about Trey Hendrickson. So that means that the Cowboys are going to have to do more. Now, what the Cowboys are going to have to do as it applies to Moore, the Cowboys are going to have to redo Kenny Clark's deal, which will probably be some kind of extension. They're going to have to redo Quentin Williams, and I really think they need to do Quentin Williams' deal. He needs about another couple of years extended on his deal. And then we'll see if they mess around with Oso Digizua's deal, if they don't wind up trading him or something else. But you're going to have to spend money on your own players. And if the Cowboys make George Pickens play on a franchise tag, well, that's already basically $28 million right off the bottom of the cap. It's bottom line. You're paying that money weekly. So it is what it is. So you are going to pay. The part of busting the budget is paying your own players. It says every single watch out above is true for the draft as well, and many also apply to Cowboys on free agents. Not every Cowboys player needs to get a league-leading contract, and beware of overpaying your own players coming off of major injuries or career years. Yeah. It may seem like you're getting a good deal on the contract at the time, but because you're projecting past performance into the future more often than you'll end up cutting the player with a few years. The key heading into free agency for both your own and for external free agents is to find players you can pay for future potential instead of past performance. Remember when the Cowboys let DeMarco Murray walk after his 1,845-yard season in 2014? Philly signed him to a 5-year, $42 million deal with $21 million guaranteed and released him 1 year later after a disappointing 702-yard season. Well, heck, you didn't have nothing left in the tank. Man, the Cowboys ran the snot out of DeMarco Murray once the Cowboys figured out they were not extending him. They ran the snot out of him. So, yeah, but he got that $21 million, though, didn't he? Rombowski said if there's no GP and Aubrey going forward, then fans only have Jury and Cowboy to blame, as they had all season long to get an extension done more than a year with Aubrey. We're going to see. But I hope everything works out. I do not want the Cowboys to lose these players if possible. But I'm just accepting it, man. It's the business. It's the business. That's all it is. I mean, it's the business, man. It's not a whole lot that you can say about it. It's the business. Yeah. And they just said, yep, because it will be used against him if he says anything. Angie, I'm telling you, George has done this way smarter than I've seen. I mean, Dak Prescott did it pretty smart, but Dak Prescott would say things here and there. George hadn't said a word. George hasn't said a word. And I really think what George is going to do, I just think George is going to wait and see if he gets some offers. If George gets some offers, then it's going to be what it is. If George don't get any offers, that's going to be what it is too. And then I think George is going to eventually sign that franchise tag, and then we'll be on our way to extending George Pickens. At least I think we're going to be signing George Pickens unless they make him play another year on a franchise tag. But I can tell you this, that doggone David Mulugeta, I just don't think David going to operate like that. I think David is going to be diligently trying to get him a deal this coming week, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am so wrong, and I want both of these players to stay with the Cowboys. Frank Lawrence said don't want to play on a tag equals signs a contract and won't fulfill his end of it unless you renegotiate with a bloodsucker agent. It's not just Michael Pickens, period. It's the game. Frank Lawrence, it's the game. Bottom line, it's the game, man. It is what it is. Clifford said, I've been getting notifications about A.J. Brown. He won't be in Philly much longer. Yeah, the Patriots are bombarding them with offers. Bombarding them. Somebody named Evan Knows Ball, he said over here on X, He said, hey, Eagle fans, I just got another call. I don't think he's talking about A.J. Brown. I bet he's talking about Jalen Carter. He says, I'm sorry, but you're going to be pretty sad within the next 24 hours when this news breaks again. I believe that that's probably going to be Jalen Carter. They said Ja'Marr Chase. I saw this earlier. They said Ja'Marr Chase is not happy with the Max Crosby trade. I saw this today too, and I told y'all this before, but I'm telling y'all right now, Dak Prescott is going to be the next quarterback to get an extension. And I think Dak Prescott's going to get his extension next year. NFL rumors, it says reportedly working on an extension with Lamar Jackson over $62 million a season. I think Dak Prescott's going to get an extension, but I don't think he's going to try to get 62 a season. I think Dak Prescott, they're just going to extend him out and let him play more years with the Cowboys. I wouldn't be surprised Dak Prescott next deal, he's going to give the Cowboys, he's probably going to give the Cowboys a hometown discount. But Lamar Jackson, man, let me tell you something. The Baltimore Ravens better go to the Super Bowl in the next 2 seasons. Because to bring in Max Crosby, get rid of John Harbaugh, you're making all these moves and commitments to Lamar Jackson. Man, you better get a Super Bowl out of this. I'm sorry, you better get a Super Bowl out of this. All right, let me see if I can get some more updates before we get out of here tonight. Landon Holyfield, he was saying if you're looking for some more impact, you probably want to look a little bit higher than Boye. I would, you know what, if I was Cowboys, I'd try to double dip. Why not get him and Trey Hendrickson? I just don't understand people trying to stop at the one. All right. Adam Farrell says breaking. The Bears and Trey Hendrickson. Have y'all seen this? This was an hour ago. It says breaking. The Bears and Trey Hendrickson have we'll see. Now, I mentioned Trey Hendrickson. I mentioned the Bears earlier. The Bears are desperately trying to get an edge rusher. The Bears are desperately trying to get an edge rusher. But I guarantee you the Cowboys are probably going to have something to say about that. I bet you they're going to try to get in on that deal. They're definitely going to try to get in on that deal. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears are trying to get Trey Hendrickson. Because they couldn't get Max Crosby, so why wouldn't they try to get Trey Hendrickson? Let me see here. So that's going to be something for us to be watching here over the next couple of days. The Bears were very, very aggressive when it came to Max Crosby, but they were just like the Dallas Cowboys. They were not willing to give up, I believe, those 2 first-round picks. But again, hadn't seen anything else on that part. Let me see. Yeah, we already know about the Rams trading for Trent McDuffie. Yeah, we already know about that. X is going to be pretty busy tomorrow, this morning and this afternoon. Man, it's going to be real busy because people are going to be talking about players. It's just going to be more and more players. More and more players are going to be getting signed. They can call it legal tampering all they want to on Monday, but these teams, I believe these teams are already operating behind the scenes. I believe they're already operating behind the scenes. Let me see some here. Man, I hope they leave Dak Prescott alone. Please leave Dak Prescott alone. There's going to be so much talk about Dak Prescott. It's going to be crazy. They're already talking crazy talk about Dak Prescott. Y'all, we're going to have to weather the storm. We're going to have to weather the storm on the Dak Prescott story. I'm just telling you how it is. Going to have to weather the storm. Dak Prescott, so much for the quiet offseason. They're going to be talking about Dak Prescott a lot. especially as more things come out about this whole relationship, because you already know it's going to come out. They're going to be talking about Dak Prescott. I'm already watching stuff come up on X. So y'all prepare yourselves. We got some stuff coming up. But if we can get this good free agency going, maybe we can quiet some of the noise. All right, let me read some of your comments before we get out of here tonight. All right. Ant Ponticello, he said, how's anyone comparing us to the Patriots window? They have a quarterback making 2.9% of the total cap. We're in different windows. Yeah, the Patriots are in a situation to where they think they can go back. They want to strike while that iron is hot. And so they're not gonna mind paying it. Paying for anybody like that. Frank Lawrence said, how about guys like Diggs get paid $90 million and spends 2.5 years thinking about a blue injury tent? Let me see. Clifford said A.J. Brown and Nick Sirianni bumped heads. Yeah, I got you, Angie. You know what? I said this too, Tyrone Church. I wouldn't be surprised if Kenneth Murray was back either. I'm serious. I mean, because when I was listening to last year to the way Brian Schottenheimer was talking about him, I mean, I was like flabbergasted. I was like, what in the world is he talking about? And Politico Ponticello, he said, I guess Pat Mahomes and agents did good by his client and the team. They're swimming in cash and legacy right now. Well, you know what really happened with them, and Ponticello? You know, you got to think about it, man. Patrick Mahomes didn't win the Heisman Trophy. Patrick Mahomes wasn't the number one overall pick. I mean, if everybody could go back and do hindsight, they'd do it all over. They'd do it differently. But we got to understand something. The Kansas City Chiefs were already good when he got there. And it's not Alex Smith's fault that they blew a huge lead against the Baltimore Colts or the Indianapolis Colts and stopped them from going to the Super Bowl. But you got to realize, man, it wasn't just Patrick Mahomes. They already had a great team. They were already winning. They already had Andy Reid. I mean, when you start thinking about a lot of things they had in place, I mean, and that's not taking anything away from Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he just came onto a great team with a great coach. I mean, I still say had Andy Reid got a hold of Michael Vick early, I think Michael Vick would have had a Super Bowl. Man, Andy Reid had Michael Vick balling. And he got Michael Vick after the prison years. Could anybody imagine had he got Michael Vick early in his career? Man, Michael Vick would have won. I believe Michael Vick would have won multiple Super Bowls too. I really do. Michael Vick was that good. But of course, it was Andy Reid. He was with the Eagles. I'm not sure if that team was as good as the Kansas City Chiefs team. Kansas City Chiefs team was even better, I believe, than the Eagles team. But yeah, when you get Patrick Mahomes, then you put him with Andy Reid and everything they had together, it was just the right combination of things. I think Jerry Jones I believe they should have tried to work the same kind of deal though that Patrick Mahomes has and get one of them 10-year deals. I mean, that was a very smart deal the Kansas City Chiefs got for Patrick Mahomes. Really was. David Everett, I think you're asking if we're going to have a free agency show. My mindset is we'll see how it goes. My mindset is whatever noon Eastern is. I was telling my wife the other day, wait. Okay, so noon Eastern is 11 a.m. Central Time. So I'm probably going to start streaming. I believe I'm going to start streaming around 11 o'clock. At least that's my goal. I'm going to start streaming around 11 a.m. And I'm probably going to go all day. That's kind of where my mind is. We'll see what happens. Lock and D said the fact that we still have $9 million is blowing my mind. Yeah, we got that from the 3 rework contracts, but we're going to have to go and do some more work. And that work we're going to have to do is going to be Kenny Clark, Quentin Williams, also Diggy Zua, probably even Deron Bland. We're going to have to redo those contracts to really get the money to where we want to start wheeling and dealing, because you got to have the money when you start doing what you're doing. Said, yeah, we got $9 million. He said we need to have more by the morning if we want to get active in free agency. Yeah, you're going to see some movement by the Cowboys here in the next couple of days. Rumbowski said GP doesn't have to say anything because he let his work on the field last year do the talking. It's like when they asked Steve Jobs about his black turtleneck and jeans, because I don't have to worry about it. Yes, sir. Yeah, George is smart, man. I would dare say he's doing this smarter than even Dak Prescott, because he's not saying a word. Everybody's talking for George, but George ain't talking. George is not talking. And I believe George is saying, I'm going to let my actions do the talking. Big Rumbowski said, do the work and acquire the power, then you don't have to explain too much to anyone. Boy, you speaking number facts. Number facts, man. Larry Golden, he said, this may sound a little stupid, like a stupid question, but would you rather have a Brandon or a George? Brandon or George? A 65 or 75-yard field goal or George? Oh, you're talking about Brandon already. Okay. Okay, I had to think about that twice. Would you rather have Brandon or George, a 65 or 75-yard field goal, or George? The thing about it, how many games have we won on a field goal? We've won a lot of games on a field goal. I would rather the Cowboys' offense be better and not have to be kicking all these long field goals. Yeah, I get what you're saying, in Ponticello. Yeah. Yeah, smart. Rabas said Dak might need a new extension after blowing all that money on his new council European. Rombowski. He's going to get extended. You watch what I tell you. They're going to extend Dak Prescott. And if they don't do it, I think they'll do it next year. They're not going to do it this year. They're going to extend Dak Prescott next year. I've been saying this for 2 years. There were people out there talking about, oh, yeah, the Cowboys can walk away from Dak Prescott at the end of 2027. They're not going to do it. They're not going to walk away from Dak Prescott, because I believe Dak Prescott's still going to be balling. If Dak Prescott is balling and healthy, they're going to extend him just like Lamar Jackson is getting extended. Because Dak Prescott, you want to talk about a smart contract? Dak Prescott's contract is designed to only work if he's on the team. If Dak isn't on the team, you're eating massive amounts of dead money. And I mean massive amounts of dead money. Now, this is what's going to complicate the Dak Prescott issue and why I believe the Cowboys will eventually wind up extending him. If you redo Kenny, if you redo Quentin, and you keep pushing money in the void years on other players, it's setting you up to have so much dead money that you're going to have to figure out a way to continue to kick money down the road. I believe Dak's going to get extended. Rumbowski said, don't worry, Jay, I'm pretty sure the talk will continue on, at least from the stories I've heard up here in Salina. He's definitely no choir boy. Oh, I know. They already saw it. I already saw it, Rumbowski. I already know what you're talking about when you say he's no choir boy. I've already saw it. They're already man, Lord, put your, as the old preachers used to say, put your heads of protection around Dak Prescott. But at the same time, what's done in the dark will come to the light. None of us are exempt from that. None of us are exempt from that. What's done in the dark will come to the light. Frank Lloyd said, look, I love Pickens, Aubrey, Clowney, and want to blame Jerry as much as the next guy, but maybe they're going to shop the number no matter how Jerry Jones offers. Why I think trade holdouts for huge hauls. Yeah. Larry Golden said, George is smart, less is more. Meaning you say less, you make more. It's like you get pulled over by the police. You're better off not saying much. Yeah, I get it. And you better stop playing like that. You better stop playing like that. Told to be right back up in this thing. He'd be right back in the crib. You better stop playing like that. He'd be right back in the crib on us. Larry Golden said, we better start buying more Dallas Cowboy t-shirts so they can afford to keep our players. Otherwise, we're going to have to pick a new sport like bowling. Hey, let me tell you something. They better get it done. Frank Lawrence said, yes, Dak Prescott today's game, great quarterbacks can play into the 40s. Yeah, they're going to extend Dak Prescott. It makes sense because of the money. Samuel Mitchell said, if Pickens leave, then we have 2 number 1 draft picks, and I would let him fly if he doesn't accept $34 million and use a first rounder to get from the trade a top wide receiver. Yeah. You know what though? I'll be honest with you, Samuel Mitchell. I wouldn't go into the draft. I would get Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is only going to command. Sport Track is already estimating Alec Pierce is only going to be a $24 million a year receiver. Somebody going to get a steal on Alec Pierce, man. Alec Pierce is a baller of a wide receiver, man. He is a baller of a wide receiver. I'm not taking him over George Pickens, but he's a baller of a wide receiver. I want the Cowboys, George Pickens, and Brandon Aubrey to get this thing worked out. But if they can't, I'm just telling you where I am. The Cowboys got too much going on. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to get my mind all messed up over anything. All I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back and watch whatever they do. And whatever they do, I can choose to be mad or glad, but it ain't going to do no good because I don't control them. And I'm going to still roll with them. And let's see how it turns out. Let's see how it turns out. But I hope everything turns out. Brandon Aubrey gets no offer. George gets no offer. They both get extended. And then we make this Super Bowl run and go and run it up. We run it up and get this Super Bowl, make this Super Bowl run and go to the Super Bowl in 2026, no later than 2027. Let's get this doggone Super Bowl. We got some people in here, they want to see the Cowboys win the Super Bowl again before they leave this world. So we want the Cowboys going to get that Super Bowl in the next couple of years. I want my sons to see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl. I want them to see the Cowboys win a Super Bowl before I get out of here. Frank Lawrence said, why leave it to chance and end up with a number 30 pick? Larry Golden said, please, G, don't bring up Michael Vick. He said he's a piece. If anybody that would do that to an animal deserves nothing but bad things, they should have kept him in jail for life. Man, you know, I watched that Michael Vick documentary. And man, Larry, Michael Vick was just young and dumb, man. He's young and dumb. Come from a culture. My uncle was one of those, and he wasn't like Michael Vick per se. But man, I don't know, Larry Golden, if you've ever seen that dog culture, it's different, man. It is different. It is different. And guys just don't think like that, you know, when you're young. And the thing about Michael Vick, man, just had bad people around him. There's just bad people around him, man. You know, you got to be careful. You know, you get these guys, man, they become millionaires. They're immature. They become millionaires. And it's not like they have, you know, sometimes they don't have fathers in their life, don't have an older presence in their life to help guide them on stuff. And they're just out there doing everything. Being influenced by people, going with the flow, doing things they never thought they'd be able to do. And man, they're just young and dumb and they do dumb things. But if I'm not mistaken, I think he does a lot of things in that area now to kind of educate people and stop that kind of stuff. At least I know he was doing it when he first got out of jail. Frank Lawrence said, got to trade a pick and replace with Pierce. There's your answer. All we got invested in Pickens is a 3rd and a 6th round pick, but you got to trade him now. Yeah, Pierce would be an answer for sure. Rombowski said, I'm the same age as Vic, and the stupid things I did growing up in the 90s. Vic turned his life around and has a lot to teach young men. Yeah, that's the point I was making. Yeah, he started teaching about educating that stuff. Yeah, he started educating on that stuff. And he's doing some great things with these kids too. He's coaching. Bullo said, this is low-key making me feel kind of concerned now for the worst outcomes that can happen to us in free agency in the draft. Being wiped out defensively when it's our turn at 12. Oh no, we're gonna be Bullos. I think we're gonna be good to go. I'm not worried about the Cowboys defensively. I think they're gonna be good to go. Jerry's gonna spend the money. We can book it. Jerry's spending the money. I'm just telling us now. Book it. We're spending the money. I'm going to be shocked if we don't overpay for Trey Hendrickson. I believe we're going to overpay for Trey Hendrickson. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's free agency. You're overpaying. Everybody's overpaying on Monday. When the ink hits the paper on Wednesday, everybody's overpaying, Barlos. Bottom line, everybody's going to overpay. So the Cowboys are going to overpay. I'd rather them overpay than underpay. The Cowboys are going to make a splash, and I believe it's going to be Trey Hendrickson. But again, y'all don't be surprised if the Bears might roll up in there, man. Because like I said, they were trying their best. They were trying their best to get Max Crosby. It didn't go through. So they've already cleared a lot of cap space. This is what they've been doing. If anybody's been paying attention, the Bears have been clearing a lot of cap space. So it's obvious the Bears are about to be players in free agency. They're going to play. They're going to play. And I do believe that Trey Hendrickson is going to be one of those players that they're going to go after. So we're going to see. But I think the Cowboys are prepared to overpay. I believe the Cowboys know that if they want Trey Hendrickson, it's probably going to be $30 million. I think they understand it's going to be $30 million. Yeah, Kenneth Richards said Trey is recovering from hip surgery. Don't matter. Trey Hendrickson is about to hit the lottery. I'm telling you right now, Kenneth Richardson, this man is about to win the lottery come Monday, brother. He winning the lottery. Sammy Mitchell said, I would also let Aubrey fly also if he doesn't want to be here and take that second round pick. In my opinion, Vic did too much time for the crime, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, Kenneth Richardson. Hendrickson about to get paid, whether it be from us or somebody else. He getting paid. He is, right now, in the eyes of many, he is the best edge rusher out there. He is tier 1, and he's about to get paid. And I believe the Cowboys going to pay him. Clifford, he said, I want those Dallas Cowboys to stop hating when Dallas. Oh, no. No, they ain't going to never stop hating the Cowboys. Clifford, they will never stop hating the Cowboys. And Kenneth Richardson, at the end of the day, the only thing you can really hope for is somebody pays more than the Cowboys. And I do think the Bears are going to give him a run for the money, but I think Jerry's got his mindset on Trey Hendrickson. I really do. I think he got his mindset on it. Rumbowski said Chicago had their center Dalvin retire on them suddenly. I think that's what has thrown them off for a bit. Yeah. Kenneth Richardson said that the other teams overpay. Everybody's going to overpay, Kenneth. We're going to Neiman Marcus, my brother. Everybody's going to overpay. If you shopping on day one, you're overpaying. And the Cowboys are going to overpay. Cowboys are going to overpay, bottom line. The only way the Cowboys don't overpay is that somebody pays, just goes out of this world on Trey Hendrickson. I think the starting price for Trey going to be around 30. That's where I think it's going to be about 30. Lil D said, believe it when I see it. Can't go on the rumors. It's been too many years of disappointments. Oh, I can understand why you're there, but I think the Cowboys they're gonna do work in this free agency. Bass said, please somebody take Bass and Aubrey. I want more. Boy, crazy. Boy. Oh, Bass is good as gone, man. Bass is good as gone. Like I said, I think he might get offered. Yeah, Caleb, I don't know if the Bears will go after Pierce, though. I don't know if the Bears will go after Pierce. Because they got a really good wide receiver crew over there. Barlow said, I hope so, G. I just don't think of it in that way you had mentioned earlier of potentially losing Pickens and Arby's to teams that will throw the bank at them. I got a feeling that at the very minimum, Barlow's, Green Bay, we already heard about the tampering. NFL ain't going to do nothing about it. We already heard about the tampering, not to mention, man, Green Bay has suffered at the foot of kickers for years. They have suffered at the foot of kickers for years. They're just not, I just don't think they're going to mind paying a kicker. Okay, so I was looking at, let me see. I think this is why the Green Bay Packers will be interested in Brandon Aubrey. Let me see. Look at this stat from Google over here. The Green Bay Packers have had roughly 5 to 7 different primary kickers, including those in 2025 over the last 5 years. Following the departure, I forgot about Mason Crosby. Oh my gosh. Mason Crosby was incredible. Following the departure of longtime kicker Mason Crosby after the 2022 season, I forgot about Mason Crosby. Man, that dude could kick, man. They've had Anders, who is this? Anders Carlson, Braden Narveson, Brandon McManus, Lucas Havrisic. I'm telling you, man, Green Bay wants a kicker. I don't think they're going to pay Brandon Aubrey $10 million, but I do think they're going to make a run for him. The Cowboys can match it. I'm not telling you the Cowboys not going to be able to match it, but I'm telling you, man, I will not be surprised if Green Bay makes a run. Because the Green Bay Packers' last good kicker was, man, do y'all remember Mason Crosby? Skip Bayless named him Mason Crossbar. Kicked that field goal in Dak Prescott's rookie season when the Cowboys went against the Green Bay Packers. The kick went outside and then curved inside. Oh, my gosh. I forgot about Mason Crosby, man. They haven't had a kicker since Mason Crosby. They want one bad. They want one bad, man. They really do. And I believe they're going to go after Brandon Aubrey. I do. Andy said Dallas need to go get Minka. I'm thinking they're going to try to get Minka. I think they're going to try to get Minka Fitzpatrick. I'm hoping it's true. I've heard some other people say Minka Fitzpatrick. So I'm hoping they do go get Minka Fitzpatrick. Man, ABCXYZ. Boy, that Mason Crosby, man. Boy, that dude was a kicker out of this world. He was good. Yeah, that boy good. The ball was good. Bad said, I think they'll specifically start at the number Dallas doesn't want to go over and negotiate from there. Aubrey will accept the highest bid. Man, I'm not going to be surprised, man. I'm not. Well, get the second round pick. Ron Bowski said, I think Green Bay offers Aubrey $8 million, but with a low amount of guaranteed money that he's seeking since he did decline to a degree in 25. Yeah. Yeah. I think the Packers are coming after Brandon Aubrey. I think they're coming after him. I do. I think they're coming after him. Bass said Minka, Quincy, and Dean. I think Quincy's coming here. I think Nakobe Dean is coming here. Minka, I'm not sure, but I think those other two are coming. All right, Larry Golden, appreciate you, man. God bless you. Have a good night. About to get out of here myself. Rumbowski said these kickers can go on sudden dry spells and you won't be able to kick them to the curb with little to no financial hit. Yeah. I got you. I got you, Larry Golden. Appreciate the support. But man, I'm telling you, I forgot how good Mason Crosby was. Mason Crosby won the Green Bay Packers, man, quite a few games. So I think Brandon Aubrey's going to get offered. I do. I think he's going to get offered. Bass said he said what the Cowboys offered him wasn't good for anybody. he actually said it was. He said it was good. He said it's a nice raise. He said, but it wasn't. He said it wasn't good enough. That boy Brandon Aubrey said, I gotta have more, man. He said, I gotta have more. Sammy Mitchell said, how about getting Bosa? Bosa could be a possibility, man. I would like Rashawn Gary too. Yeah. Mitchell, I've been mentioning this for the past week or two. I would love for the Cowboys to double dip. I really would. I'd love for them to double dip. Because I think what the Cowboys should be more focused on is building the best defense rather than trying to get the best player at a position. So that's what I would like to do. Appreciate you, Virgil Brown. Let's see. Barlos, he said, in a petty way, if Pickens really decides to go to the highest bidder and starts to decline stats and touch-wise because that team doesn't have the caliber of quarterback that he's been blessed with this year. Barlos, keep this in mind, too. He won't have CeeDee Lamb with him either. That helps. It helps to have CeeDee Lamb with him. It does. It helps to have CeeDee Lamb with him. So, I'm reserved. I'm resolved now with the Cowboys. I'm not going to let anything surprise me as far as anything that's going to go on free agency. I'm not going to be surprised if the Cowboys going to get everybody they want. Trey Hendrickson, the Kobe Dean, Minka Fitzpatrick, Alonta. I'm not going to be surprised with anything. I'm not going to be surprised with anything. I guess I would be surprised if the Cowboys didn't do anything. I would be more surprised. But I believe Jerry is going to get busy, and that's the part that's not going to surprise me. I believe Jerry's going to shock a lot of people come Monday. I think he's going to shock a lot of people. But, of course, Jerry going to have to understand how to play the game too, though. Jerry got to get with it. Man, this is not a game for the timid. Free agency, it's not a game for the timid. When you step into free agency, I'm sorry, you're overpaying. If you don't want to overpay, you go ahead and wait till day 3 or 4 and just get the leftovers like you normally do. But if you understand the game, you're overpaying. If you want Trey Hendrickson, you're overpaying. You're probably going to overpay for a Devin Lloyd. You're going to overpay for some of those players. You probably won't have to overpay for Nakobe Dean. You're going to have to beat what the Eagles would pay him. The Eagles have already told Nakobe Dean, go out there and see what you can get. And if you can't get anything better, we'll take you back. Rashawn Gary is being told the same thing. Rashawn Grethel was great. Whatever his name is, Rashawn from Green Bay, he's being told the same thing. They wanted him back, even though now they went and traded for a linebacker to go along with them. So we'll see. We will see. We're gonna absolutely see. So it's gonna be great, man. Angie said I'm gonna clip that G and post it in the X calls. Yeah. Double dip. Double dip. Man said Capital One, what's in your wallet, Jerry? Hey, it's time to spin. Angie, we going to Rodeo Drive. We going to Rodeo Drive. And if Jerry don't want to shop, stay in the car. Wait till day 3 or 4 and go to the Dollar Tree. But if you want to play in free agency, you're going to have to overpay. Yeah, Frank Lawrence, he said stay away from Hendrickson. He's got a lot of mileage on him. But I think they're going to do it. I think Trey Hendrickson is going to be the player the Cowboys are going to make the splash with. I think they're going to pay him $30 million. I do. They're going to pay him $30 million a year, I believe. Probably be like a 3-year deal. Probably be 30, maybe 45 guaranteed, 50 guaranteed. So it'll probably be like a 2-year deal, however they're going to do it. But I believe the Cowboys are going to get Trey Hendrickson. I do. And then we're going to move on to the next phase. And I'm not going to be surprised if we got a 2nd-round pick from Brandon Aubrey. I'm not going to be surprised. It is what it is. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to complain about it. Complained enough. If Brandon Aubrey ain't going to be here, Brandon Aubrey's not going to be here. We're moving on. Cowboys can't be, you got to be resolved when you make these decisions. Lil D said, Jerry better hurry up and get players before I knew DC window be gone. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bass said it seems about Dallas. Bass, I want Jerry. Jerry has been earning the trust of the franchise. This coming week, Jerry's gonna go a long way towards doing it again. He's gonna go a long way towards doing it again. Jerry's gonna make some moves, gonna have his fan base on fire. Gonna have this fan base on fire. Y'all keep Dak Prescott in prayer. Let's hope we can keep this thing at a minimum. Hopefully it don't get messy. Keep all that out of the press. I hope him and his ex-girlfriend can work it out. Be amicable. Think about the children. Don't bring a lot of attention to this. Think about Dak Prescott's career. And Dak, stay focused. Let's go get this chip. All right, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Let's talk Cowboys and we talk facts. Peace.